You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
Ladies and gentlemen.
All I know is you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
What is it with you and this obsession with this varsity crap?
People come to us because we don't sell them on anything.
They can't refuse because of the implication.
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door. Some things are a matter of duty.
The world's greatest radio show in Tennessee.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough to dispute.
And I was about to take advice from a clown who dives headfirst into the shallow end of the pool.
It's Talk Sports with John Reed and Cody McClure.
If it is to be said, so it be. So it is. So it is. So it is. So it is.
It's a Tennessee thing!
Well, I'm holding on.
Back in the booth, back on the airwaves, coming at you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer studio. John Reed, no Cody McClure today. Sam Beard, Bad News Bubba. It is Monday, a very frigid Monday, February 2nd. Burr. Burr, burr, burr. We'll recap you on the weekend, including another big Tennessee basketball victory. That's 3 in a row. We're going streaking. Sam Beard, top of the morning to you, friend. How are you?
Top of the morning. Doing pretty good. Cold, like you said. Kind of sucks. We don't get any fun, you know. Just snow. The snow just is happening over the weekend, and then it's gone by the time you got to get back up and get at it the next week. But guess had a decent time with the weather this weekend.
Grew up, Peter Pan. What do you want? School to be called off?
Yeah.
This is why when you get older, I've been telling everybody, when you get older, snow sucks. There ain't no fun with snow days unless you have kids or you're a teacher. Otherwise, it just ruins it for everybody. Like I can't imagine there's very many people happy around here that aren't involved with the school system.
I woke up at like 6 a.m. on Saturday morning to my neighbor shoveling his driveway for some reason that like was covered again in another couple hours. But I just woke up to just, and I was like, what is that? And then I'm blind, so I had to put my glasses on and like squint out the window. And then it's just some dude trying to salt his driveway and scrape his driveway. It didn't end up working.
Did you get out on Saturday and play in the snow?
Not really.
Yeah.
It made me happy though. Like there were kids around the neighborhood that were doing it. Made me feel good that kids still want to like get outside and they don't just want to sit inside in the snow and like play video games instead of go out and do some sleds.
It was very strange. I left town this weekend and I went down to Georgia and snowed a little bit, but nothing major. But seeing all the pictures from back home were crazy. Like
it was
all
wild.
The snow.
We got like 4 inches at my house.
I saw some people with the ruler out there saying 8 inches,
yeah,
like where they were at, and even my buddies a little bit further north of, like in Dandridge or such, you know, they had their whole, you know, countryside just completely blanketed.
I saw some weather's been dominating my algorithm. I hope it's out of the picture now. But I saw some guy up in Gatlinburg that got like 11 or 12, I think.
Yeah, I was a little nervous trying to drive back in yesterday, but everything was pretty clear.
We went out to the store Saturday morning, and we were wanting to go to the basketball game that night, and then we were like,
Wow. Boy in his mid-20s, scared to go out in a little snow. Okay. I was worried about that whenever I saw they were not going to move the basketball game, but it didn't feel like it was empty. It felt like enough people showed up.
Seemed like a pretty solid crowd.
Shout out to them for not being afraid of the snow like Sam was. Bubba, top of the morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, John. Good to see your face. Glad you're safe.
My little snowman.
Snowman knows no man, John.
How are you, friend?
I'm all right.
Did you play in the snow this weekend?
No, and I meant to, but I fell asleep pretty early Saturday, which kind of ruined the vibe. Because what I like to do is, so that way I'm not judged, is I go sledding more towards the night.
Oh, it's dangerous, but okay.
Nah, we got street lights in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Poor cars trying to get home from a long day at work, and it's middle of the night. Surely no one's.
Thankfully, in my yard, I have enough room to.
Surely no one's sledding here. I did see some people sledding in the neighborhood I was in, but they were like doing it on the road. And I was like, this seems dangerous. I don't want to be the old guy saying to get off the sled and don't be going down. Like one was like going up like off of like a little bit of a hidden driveway, and that was pretty steep. I was like, the reward there is you crash onto the road, which seems bad. But like you come down that road the wrong time, boom, a car's coming. You've gotten ran over. I was just shaking my head saying kids. But Bubba, you didn't get to do your nighttime sledding because you went to sleep?
Yeah.
So you didn't stay up for week 2 of UFC on Paramount?
Fell asleep before the main event.
Okay.
It was a fun card.
I didn't watch any of it.
Honestly, it kind of sucked. I'm just disappointed in everything on Saturday.
You didn't like the Royal Rumble either?
No, I hated the Royal Rumble.
Why?
No big surprises. I'm probably understandable because I got to fly across the world and clear customs and all that good stuff.
Yeah, if I'm a legend trying to come back for a check, I'll wait till next year. I'm not getting on a flight all the way to Saudi Arabia just to come out for 5 minutes.
Just didn't feel excited watching. Also, just like some of the production issues. They had Jey Uso out here taking 10 minutes to get, from the top all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Only one guy comes out. Matt's not mathing there.
Yeah.
And then, during his, I'm actually going to do it again. Yeet. And then Brock Lesnar gets eliminated. And it's like, okay. And then that was that. And it's like, you know what? I don't care about this right now. So that kind of killed the vibe.
I was happy with both winners.
Good for them.
Yeah. Who did you want to see win? Who were you mad about?
Literally anybody else.
I was happy with the winners. Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns, Sam, in case you're wondering.
I'm all in on Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And then I missed every bet for UFC.
Oh.
So
that's why you went to sleep. Bubba just got into the bottle. I was like, man, I'm old for my first 3.
I wish, and this is going to be a huge demand, UFC puts out an injury report. If they want to become legitimized as a sporting organization, put out injury reports the day of or the days leading up to. All right, don't be masking anything. If you tell me a guy's got maybe a little softer UCL than normal, something happens, maybe he sprained his ankle or something, and he's still in there trying to fight through, and they immediately tears it, in the first 30 seconds, call it off.
Kind of feel like that's on you for not diving a little deeper into your fights, Bubba.
No, come
UFC
on.
UFC doesn't. That's not a sport that's supposed to have an injury report. You go target that wherever you're hurt.
That's a fair rebuttal
for your opponent. That's a scouting report. That's not an injury report.
That's a fair rebuttal. I was just going to say, Bubba, the whole legitimate sport. Did you not see the news that Josh Allen had been playing on a broken foot for 5 weeks? I don't feel like they gave any money back to the people who bet on the Bills against the Broncos when he's running around with a broken foot. So they didn't do the best on keeping those guys up to speed either. So I think I'm on Sam's side here. You got to get some intel from the camp.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Okay.
I'll figure that one out.
All right, but everybody had a good weekend, a safe weekend?
I try to be reckless.
You tried to, just couldn't do it?
In my car, something happens like the ABS and like the traction control. So I wanted to do donuts really bad.
Oh,
just couldn't do it. Probably a skill issue, but
you don't seem like much of a wheelman. No.
that's crazy talk. I'm gonna let you finish though.
No disrespect intended.
Very much accepted disrespect.
I mean, you said it was a skill issue, so you kind of agree. You didn't have the skill to do it.
And then I got to see Chaperone last night, John. How was your weekend?
How about that? How about that outfit for Chaperone? Did you see it, Sam?
No.
It was a very interesting outfit. The Grammys were last night, which I didn't watch any of it.
I watched Roof, man.
I learned that there's 95 awards that they gave away.
Yeah, they don't do all those on TV. They do a lot of them starting early in the day, the ones that aren't big enough to get on TV. But I saw this picture of Chaperone. You know her, right? The Pink Pony Club. And her dress was kept up by her nipples. She had pierced nipples and like they were like holding the dress up. Very interesting outfit.
I feel like the Grammys is just like the Super Bowl of fashion too.
Yeah.
I feel like all these award shows are more just fashion instead of the actual awards.
I'd say I mean, the Met Gala is probably the Super Bowl, like whenever they actually do like out like Milan, like on Fashion Week.
That.
But you're not wrong that the Grammys are like mostly for fashion, and then maybe some performances.
It's got to be tough because it's like, especially now, like in 2026, because a lot of crazy ideas have possibly already been done before.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep trying to figure out how to make yourself different, and that probably includes showing a little more skin than normal. But I laughed whenever I saw a clip of Jamie Foxx going, "Hey, my kids love you," and she's got this, and she turns around, and it's like, "Where's the kids at?"
Well, Jamie Foxx's kids are old at this point.
Me too, brother.
I was staying at my buddy's house and like hanging out with the kids, and when they would wake up, they'd want to sing and dance a little bit, right? They're at that age where they still need to get a little energy out and sing and dance, and they put on the Kids Bop version of Pink Pony Club, to which I was like, huh. And I was talking to their mom, and their mom didn't really know the song. I was like, well, the song's about a woman leaving Tennessee to go be a stripper and dance at the Pink Pony Club. I mean, it's about her running away and, finding herself on the stage. I was like, it seems kind of weird that the kids would be singing the song, that they have indoctrinated the children so much that they are teaching them strip club songs. But yeah, either way.
How do you even modify that to
they
kids?
just, I mean, the lyrics, don't have any like vulgarity in them, but they didn't change much of it. I mean, it was still about you're a pink pony girl and you dance at the club.
Or boys and girls can all be cool.
Yeah, they don't say queens, although it seemed like one of the Kids Bop boys, I mean, they had his eyes painted, so I don't know what they were going with there, but they didn't change. They didn't change very many of the lyrics, honestly.
Maybe they're just banking on kids not really, parents not really looking into it and just thinking like, oh, pink ponies, that's a little kid.
Well, that's exactly what my friend's mom was. I mean, I guess she assumed Kids Bop at safe, and maybe they picked that. Maybe they got rid of the verse that was like, "I'm up and jaws are on the floor, lovers in the bathroom, and a line outside the door, black lights and a mirror disco ball, and other every night's another reason why I left it all." Maybe they edited that part out about being lovers in the bathroom line and all that, but very unique, very strange. And then, boom, I saw Chaperone just out there with just boobies out. Interesting outfit. I know Bubba's in love with her, Sam. What did you think of the outfit?
I mean, it's hard not to give him an award for, something unique there. That's truly one of one.
Yeah. Whoever designed the dress deserves some attention, deserves some love. All right, we'll dive into some sports on the other side. Tennessee. That's 1, 2, 3 wins in a row. Vibes are higher in Knoxville when it comes to the basketball team right now. We'll dive into it. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. Come on, grab a pack. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavor. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, VOLS fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go VOLS.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Tennessee, big victories. Tennessee rolling on, taking on Baby Pearl, getting a win inside a cold, chilly, snowy Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center. It was one of those that was not pretty, but the final score was beautiful at least. Sam, what was your takeaways from Rick Barnes and the boys gutting one out on Saturday night?
My biggest takeaway was kind of being able to go do that without Jacoby Gillespie. I mean, only plays 29 minutes in this game, gets into foul trouble, just doesn't really have the scoring punch that you normally see out of him, only has 7 field goals on the night, finishes with just 11 points. And I don't know, I think you've seen this team that they've looked pretty lost at times whenever he's not on the court. And I saw some interesting stuff that kind of came out after the game where apparently Barnes held Jacoby out of practice one day this week and kind of forced this team to kind of practice without him and see what life is like without Jacoby Gillespie on the court. And I think that one kind of came to fruition on Saturday.
So Jacoby just banged up with foul trouble, right? Like no nagging injuries there or anything. It was just the foul trouble that slowed him down. But Barnes had the foresight just to be like, hey, we got to learn how to play without him.
Seems as if so.
Yeah, the quote was, it was good for us because I think when Jacoby's out there, sometimes he's got to stop fouling in situations he's in. But in practice, I think about a week ago, we wouldn't let him practice. We said we were going to learn to play without him. He was tired, and we went 2 days where he didn't hardly do anything. And because we can play without him, and the ball moves maybe a little bit more, that's why we're trying to get him to understand. He's got to let it get off of him and get back to him.
So it's a little bit of double-sided. It was, hey, you other 4 guys got to learn how to play without Jacoby Gillespie, but it was also, hey, Jacoby Gillespie, when you're out there, you got to be a little less ball dominant. The old double-sided teaching by Rick Barnes. That's why he's a legend. But yeah, like I think at the very least, you got to learn how to play with him for 4 or 5 minutes a game because he's not Zakai Ziegler. He's not going to be able to play 38, 39 minutes a game. But hell, even Zakai Ziegler playing that many minutes, he would wear down by the time the season was over. Like there's a reason I think that he had, such bad performances in back-to-back Elite Eights is because I think he was being asked to do so much during the regular season that, hey, the legs kind of get gone by the end of the season.
How many miles do you think Jacoby runs in a normal game?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like you see that stat sometimes with the shooters like Klay Thompson or Steph Curry who are running off a lot of screens. I don't know how many screens they're making Jacoby run off of per se. Seems like he has the ball in his hands a lot. But I would say, anybody out there playing 38 minutes, Bubba's getting at least, 3 miles probably?
I was going to think like 3 to 5, yeah.
Yeah. But I want to say like during the Warriors peak, like Klay Thompson was in like the 6 mile range or 7 mile range where he was just, running off of screens nonstop. So no, that's good coaching by Rick Barnes to show the team like, hey, we got to learn how to not rely on Jacoby, but also Jacoby, look at this. The ball moves a lot more, and it seems a lot more fun for everybody when the ball's moving. But then for that to come to fruition, in the very next game, and Tennessee to not panic. There were a couple moments in the second half where it felt a little bit like the Kentucky game, where you're like, oh, my God, is this game really actually close? We've been dominating. What the hell happened? Against Kentucky, you let that lead slip all the way away. Against Auburn and Baby Pearl, that was not the case. Whenever Auburn would get close, there would be a response. Tennessee would go on another little surge to get back a nice, comfortable distance. A couple times, Auburn cut it to 5 or 6, and Tennessee would respond in the early part of the second half. But then, it got even down to 4. And Tennessee would make a couple big plays.
I think a lot of guys in your front court grew up, too, just with the news of Felix Okpara being out pregame and, Dwayne Brown going in there having 10 points, 7 boards, 4 assists. Jalen Carey has a nice game with 13 points and doing it pretty efficiently. He grabs 8 boards, too. I just think a lot of guys on that team, stepped up kind of when – I don't want to say when their name isn't getting called because they're still clearly part of this rotation, but they kind of just had to step up and have a much bigger role in a game.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Carey, being back up to 27 minutes and being able to respond and play pretty well, that was nice. I mean, we've talked about the depth Tennessee has on the front court. Well, now it's starting to get tested a little bit. Cade Phillips has been out, but then right before the game, you got the news that Felix Okpara was out, and you kind of looked around and said, okay, well, we got, two guys and a freshman now that's kind of left? And Dwayne Brown, he's a big freshman. I think he's shown that he can hold his own and he can play, and he had a nice 10-point outing. But, then you only had pretty much one big off the bench in Carey, and he was pretty good and stayed out of foul trouble.
And, I know that Felix hasn't necessarily just been dominating so far this year, but to out-rebound any opponent by 16 without, Felix Okpara, obviously no Cade Phillips, you get a couple bigs into foul trouble. I just thought that was a huge game, too, by just all those young, glue guy pieces that you feel like are some 4-year players. I think you got to be feeling really good about just kind of what you've got in the future with Amari Evans and Dwayne Brown and some of those guys that you can kind of plug and play some portal stars around them in the future, hopefully.
You do have some guys that you feel like could be program guys and be here, for 3 or 4 years and, like you said, build around. But shout out to Carey. And, yeah, you're right about Okpara, but you still want him out there, and you still want him, starting and protecting the rim and helping grab rebounds. And he had a good, game against Georgia, where he grabbed 7 offensive rebounds, as many as their team had altogether. But at this point, I think we have enough sample. I think we have enough data to say that Tennessee, legitimately, one of the best offensive rebounding teams of this century, which is crazy to say, but there was a tweet last week about, offensive rebound percentage, and Tennessee was one of 4 teams that had grabbed the elite clip. It was, I want to say 33% of the missed shots. Tennessee's been doing that this year, and it was like them and like Michigan State from 2000. It was 4 teams this century, and Tennessee was on the list, this version of the team. So I think at this point you just say they are one of the best offensive rebounding teams, not only in the country, of the last like 26 years. But shout out to Carey. He was great. And another huge shout out to Bishop Boswell, because I keep saying it. A couple of things. I like seeing him fly around like Josh Hart, but also when he plays well, Tennessee is a really, really, really good team. I don't know if I'll call them great just yet, but they are really, really, really good when Bishop Boswell plays well. And Bishop Boswell played well on Saturday. 7 points. Hit another 3. Only shot 1, but he hit it. Had a couple big steals, a couple, game-changing plays when Auburn had come back and cut it to 3 with 7 minutes left. Boswell responds with an offensive rebound and a jumper to put it back up to 5. Then he, a couple possessions later, gets a steal and a run out that leads to 2 Gillespie free throws. That puts it back to 9. And at that point, you felt like Tennessee was in a pretty good spot to hold on and win.
Grant Ramey put this out after the game, but in Bishop's last 3 games, he's got 28 points, 23 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals.
Yeah, no, he's doing it all. He is stuffing the stat sheet, and it's Jeremiah Mashack-esque. And, the scoring, like I said, I want to be around 8 points with Boswell. I'll live with 7, especially in a lower scoring game. 7's good. But doing all those other things, helping rebound, especially on a night where you were shorthanded. Because even with Okpara out, JP Estrella was only able to play 17 minutes.
To be completely negative, JP Estrella, I'm glad he's on our team, but also not excited by this guy.
Not excited by this guy?
No, and if we're going to fit a narrative, which we haven't cared about this all season, but he was the only one on the team looking at the Bucks where you're a negative, plus minus here with -1.
It's okay to do glass half empty too. I like to kind of save it for the last segment, Bubba. I like to get all the positives out first, and then I'll let you come in with the negative. So, take a couple minutes before you bury JP. I'll give it to you like at 8:38.
A little bit more.
Yeah, let it fester. Then you can bury JP. We are working on the positives right now, which was Tennessee finding a way to win, despite, like Sam said, your best, or at least your most reliable player, your point guard. I don't know if I can claim your best player anymore because I think Ament has caught him as far as I'm concerned. But Gillespie only had 11 points, only even got to play 29 minutes. You were down a starter. JP Estrella was in foul trouble. And you found a way to win that game and without really sweating too much.
I got another huge positive.
Okay. Yeah, this is a positive portion. Let's go.
25 of 31 from the free throw line.
Yep. I was going to say the improvements at the free throw line. Spearheaded by Nate Ament, who they don't ask how, they ask how many. A lot of the times. I don't really care how you get your points. Just get your points is kind of the idea there. Nate Ament struggled from the floor. 4 of 16. That's 25%. But he still found his way to 22 points, which obviously was huge in this game. It was the highest mark of anybody in the game. He found his way there because he went to the free throw line 15 times. And to Sam's point, of those 15 times, he knocked down 12 of them. That's big growth from Nate Ament. Everything about that game is grown. Like the 4 of 16, whatever, you live with it. To still find a way to make your impact felt, to still find a way to get to the mark Tennessee needs you to get to. And, this is a where are we at now? 6 straight games with him. Murray's averaging basically 20 points a game. Might be ticking up closer to 22 points a game now. That's big time. That's great. To go down and grab 8 rebounds also, like, hey, that's chipping in. That's playing to your size. I mean, he's a big guy. I don't want to act like he's Bishop Boswell down there scrapping, but like, hey, get down there, get dirty. grab some rebounds. Hey, get to the free throw line. That's dirty. That's gritty. That's a lot of the stuff you guys said in December that Nate Ament was too soft to do. A lot of you people listening right now, including one sitting over there across from me, said Nate Ament was too soft to go down there and do the dirty stuff. Oh, he's a baby. Oh, he's $4 million. Oh, he's too weak. Look at him. He looks like a giraffe. He's a baby deer. He can't handle contact. He doesn't like it. He shies away from it. You don't go to the free throw line 15 times if you're shying away from contact.
Foul merchant.
And that's fine. I won't argue and push back on that, Bubba. One of the best shots you can have is a free throw, especially if you can shoot them. So if you can get there and get fouled, that's about as good of a play as you can have. And he got there and shot 15 of them. It is really tough for people to guard him without fouling him because of how tall he is. He's a matchup problem for everybody. So, like, they're having to get up under him to try to contest the shot, and they're bumping him. They're getting into his hips and just kind of undercutting him there. And they can't do anything with him. It is a little bit of a cheat code. But to Bubba's point, as we get ready to start taking a turn into negative town, glass half empty stuff, the whistle, it's been really, really kind for him in the SEC. I do worry what happens when it switches gears in the NCAA tournament. Now, sometimes that leads to more foul calls. Sometimes that leads to officials giving him more free throws. But I do worry about relying on the free throws. It's nice to be able to go get them. And, hey, if you keep putting your head down and, hey, you keep working in the post, you're going to get fouls. But I would, in a perfect world, the 4 of 16 wouldn't be 4 of 16. But even that, Sam, that's a big-time positive for me. The 16 attempts.
Yeah. He needs to be going out there and averaging at least 12 or 13 shots a game. I feel like 15. I don't know.
If you say average and you're taking the beginning of the year into it or whatever, that's fine. But, like, moving forward, like, yeah, I want to see him have 16 shots, 15 shots. The Kentucky game, he had 17 points. He was 4 of 7 from the field. Now, I know he shot 9 free throws, and I know that takes away from your field goal attempts, if you're getting fouled. But he needs to be double-digit, and he needs to be in the teens. Would I live with 13, 14 with a bunch of free throws? Sure. But, like, what he did against Alabama with 20, what he followed it up with Georgia with 18, and then against Auburn with 16, I want him in the high teens to 20. Like, that's what I want. The 4 of 7 against Kentucky, nah, bro, that ain't going to cut it. The 5 of 11 against Florida, because he played good against Florida, especially in the first half. But then you get there, yeah, it's still only 11 attempts. And part of that is what Rick Barnes is probably trying to get through to the team of, like, hey, move the ball, Gillespie, but also, like, hey, if Gillespie ain't out there, get the ball to Nate. Nate, you got to go be aggressive. You got to go score. But, yeah, 16 field goal attempts to go along with the 15 free throws. Yeah, that's what literally you're getting paid to do. Be our go-to scorer. Be the guy you dump the ball into with the game on the line when you need a bucket. So shout out to Nate Ament. It wasn't a efficient game for him per se. Even though, I mean, if you 16 shots to get 22 points is efficient, but, like, the percentage wasn't good. But he led the way, and Tennessee got another win, 5-3 in the SEC. Ho hum. All right, Bubba.
Well, I was going to actually say a couple positive things.
Okay, good.
I'm glad that he maybe hasn't played his best games for Auburn, but being able to kind of force Todd Pettiford in some pretty wacky shots and just getting under his skin a little bit, I think is huge, because in the past he's shown to be pretty deadly from 3 and only having them 2 from 11.
Yep, 4 of 14 overall from the field, but yeah, the big 2 of 11 from the 3-point line. You were able to stop him. Really, they had one guy that bothered you with Keyshawn Hall.
Pettiford was pissing me off with he's like SGA with his little kick the legs out on every 3. That's how Gillespie got into foul trouble, just picking up some BS fouls that are stupid by him. But
The refs didn't fall for it too many times, as he only got one free throw attempt. But he's been disappointing this year, right? For most part of the year.
Terrible for him.
Yeah,
it's kind of why Auburn hasn't really
been as good as they were supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, like they probably could have put it together a little bit better than they have.
Yeah, he's popped a couple games. He had 25 against Georgia, 30 against Arizona, 27 against St. John's, but. Yeah, once he got to SEC play past Georgia, 11, 6.
2 of those 3 games are in November.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying he's popped a couple times, but SEC play has not been kind to him. He had 25 to start in an overtime loss at Georgia, but then, 11, 6, 9, 9, 17, 11, 7, 11. So, yeah, like he has struggled a bit. And Baby Pearl's got to figure out a way to unlock him. We'll take your comments in the chat. Shout out to the Freaks. Thanks for waking up and spending your Monday morning with us. We're a man down, so we need you to kind of be that fourth person. We'll get to some of your comments coming up next, as well as Bubba's things to worry about. Bubba's bad news. Stick with us. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
What's up, Fan Run Nation? This is Evan Rogers with ECR Total Landscapes. I'm happy to announce that our free stump grinding promotion for Fan Run Radio listeners is now extended to March 31st, 2026. If you've got trees in your yard that need to come down before they fall on your home, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes and mention you heard our ad on Fan Run Radio, and we'll get rid of that problem tree for you and grind those stumps for free. Call us at 865-384-2012 or check us out online at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day, right here on the flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Back in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Drink the light, refreshing White Claw Hard Seltzer. Shout out to our boys over at Cherokee Distributing. Shout out to White Claw. Let's check in on the Freaks over on the YouTube chat. Go like and subscribe. Smash the like button if you're in the chat. That helps with the algorithm. Make sure you're subscribing /following along. Chat's calling Cody part-time Cody. Cody part-time.
Cody Parkey.
Part-time Cody has been a real disappointment. Glad TalkSports has P-Team depth, though. So, yeah, shout out to Bubba. Shout out to Sam. Appreciate you boys being here, being engaged. And shout out to the freaks in the chat. You're a big part of the show as well. David writes in, Ament is becoming a strong Robin to Gillespie's Batman, and Carey's banged up and played like a warrior. Are we sure that Gillespie is still Batman? Are we sure?
Not 100%. I mean, their stats are starting to creep up around the same marks.
I mean, if you just look at the last, it's convenient for this discussion because I was going to say if you look at the last 6 games, which that's not necessarily fair because Gillespie came out and dropped 34 against Texas, so probably not fair to say look at the last 6 games, but yeah, they're both basically right there at the lower 20-point mark. 12 against Florida, 18 against A&M, 24-24 against Kentucky and Alabama, 21 against Georgia, 11 against Auburn. That's Gillespie. But, preceded by 34 points against Texas, 14 against Arkansas.
I mean, I just think you're able to maybe like when Gillespie's hot, he's better just in terms of scoring output, but I feel like Ament started to become just more consistently. Like he gets to the free throw line better than Gillespie does, which I think just, in nature makes your bad nights look a little bit better type of thing from what we saw on Saturday where Ament, goes 4-16 from the field, but it doesn't really matter because he's so efficient at getting to the line.
Size matters
yeah.
in basketball. Being big is about the best thing you can be in basketball.
I'm going to say he's like the Flash instead of Batman.
Oh, damn it, Bubba. I'm not a nerd. I don't know anything about Flash.
I'm going to say that
I know nothing about the Flash.
Nate Ament's more like a Spider-Man,
Okay.
Fun guy, pretty much like the strongest guy, but
sure,
very young, so a lot of room to grow.
If they put Nate Ament in a Spider-Man suit, I think they'd have been able to figure out who he was. Spider-Man 6'10". Hold on a second. Process of elimination tells me that we could figure out who this guy is. There's not that many 6'10" guys out there. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that it's Batman and Robin.
They're superheroes, but
Robin's such a whack character.
Whoa, until he turned into Nightwing.
Okay, well, they had to turn him to Nightwing for a reason, Bubba, because he was a whack character as Robin. Although I have enjoyed my Instagram algorithm, it shows me the Batman TV show from like the 60s.
Wham, pow.
And just how absurd it was. The Joker challenged Batman to a surfing contest on one of the episodes that I'm watching. So they're just out there on a surfboard and just full get up, the Joker in makeup on the beach.
You said you're watching this on your Instagram?
Yeah, it just pops up like 3-minute reels, and I watch. I don't watch the full episode.
Do you go searching for like part 7 of
no,
whatever?
No, it gets the point across. It gets the point across, and one of them is Batman at the club dancing with some girls too. That one's funny. That one makes me laugh.
A lot of great one-liners from that.
I haven't heard very many great one-liners as much as just the Penguin. He had some absurd. He had some absurd weapons he was trying to use. He unleashed a couple of flies that were like supposed to be poisonous. So Batman luckily had his fly swatter with him in his utility belt, and they swat the flies out. Pretty ridiculous show. But I wouldn't want to be called Robin if I was either one of them. But Gillespie is closer in size to him than Nate is, at least. Point being, though, I do think that moving forward, I view them as equals at the very least. If not, to me, like Ament being better at this point, which is a good problem to have if you're Gillespie. You don't want to have to carry the entire load because, as Jordan writes in, he doesn't have Patrick Queen or Reese or Rodney Rice this year like he did, last year at Maryland.
Patrick Queen.
He meant Derek.
Not Patrick Queen. Yeah, he means Derek Queen.
You know, with the way that these media guys talk about our team being football players, I didn't know.
We do kind of have a Patrick Queen and Jalen Carey. We do kind of have one there. All right, Bubba, I know you've been champing at the bit. Give me Bubba's bad news.
It's just one small thing for our boy JP, but I feel like he doesn't play with a lot of confidence or conviction. And, he can score. We see his little interior spin and like hook shot style, but if you like his release timing is just like, if he gets it, he wants to quickly just get it out of his hands. And to me, that's not showing that he's willing to, try to do too much. I understand there's times when he will try to back a guy down in the post, but it also could just be a matchup thing and what,
sure,
coaches told him. So it's easy for me to just say that sitting here instead of being on a court and also being 6'7". But I don't feel like this guy has all his confidence, and I don't know how we can do that. And at times, whenever Felix Okpara is out, and you're down to switching between, Carey and Dwayne Brown and JP Estrella as kind of your bigger guys out there. You're not selling me on the rebounding, as we saw, not been great. Whether there's still some lingering issues with his foot, and that's why, maybe he's not being able to get up as much or doesn't trust it as much. Maybe just he's not a big fan of the snow, so he's, different day for him. Don't know what, but needs more confidence in that guy.
He should have came in pretty confident in this game after the way he played against Georgia. He was great against Georgia. He was so great, Bubba didn't come in here and complain about him the next day after he dropped 17 points and grabbed 9 rebounds.
You got to find something to complain about, John.
No, I understand. You're Bubba bad news for a reason, but I'll say, Nate, probably tough to get into a full rhythm when you are in foul trouble, when you are, not getting to play as many minutes as you maybe wanted to, and you're fouling. What else? What else stood out? Because it's another game where the bench scoring was a little uneven. Like, I think ultimately you'd probably lock in 19 bench points if I offered it to you. Probably. Like, I think that's a good enough number. Now, Carey had to do most of the heavy lifting. Evans was out there. Evans was effective. He only scored 6 points and, wasn't great from the field, 2 of 7, but grabbed 8 rebounds and was flying around making some plays. But it does kind of feel like you're down to 7 guys right now with Okpara out. Like, I do think the rotation has been shrunk to where it's an 8-person rotation. That's what kind of team we have.
There is a guy who hasn't played in the past 2.5 games.
Okay.
Ethan Berg.
No, Ethan Berg's played. Ethan Berg was playing too much. I'm good with seeing Ethan Berg sit on the bench. We're good.
Even if we're down to maybe even 6 guys after another unforgiving injury that just magically happens.
I'd rather take my chances playing with 6 guys than have Ethan Berg out there.
Be careful, John.
I would.
No, I don't want to be careful.
It has nothing to do with anything other than him being a basketball terrorist. He has terrorized my basketball team, and I don't want to see him play anymore. I would rather roll out there with 6 guys and take my chances.
Like, even Amari Abram is getting cut out of this rotation. And
yeah.
Even Ethan Berg's like 2 rungs below Amari Abram, I think.
It is funny. You could look out and say, Ethan Berg came over here. Wow, shooting 44% from 3. This must be going well.
On how many attempts?
No, yeah. It's 1.1 attempts per game is what it's doing. I mean, it's been a complete whiff. It's been a complete whiff by Barnes and staff. They took a swing, bringing him over, trying to fill a hole that was there. I mean, the hole is still there. You do still need one more guard.
So Sam just mentioned it. Do you think there should be anything noteworthy or not really of Amari Abrams' decline? Because when the season first started, he's kind of one of the guys that Barnes trusted to keep putting him out there. But then now that we've, progressed all the way down here throughout SEC play, his role is pretty much second to just none. He's just a guy out there for another guy to, take a breather.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you gave him a chance. if you're Amari Abram, if you're Ethan Berg, I don't think you can be bitter, and I don't think you can think that Rick Barnes lied to you, because he gave you both ample opportunities to play and prove that you could play. There'll still be some games down the stretch, Bubba. There will be games where Amari Abram has to come in and maybe he hits a big shot, maybe he gets a big steal, maybe he has a big energy play. Possibly. You know, he had that against Alabama. He was in the game against Alabama around the 10-minute mark of the second half. I mean, when the game was in winning time, he was out there, and he hit a big three.
Some guard's going to foul out of a game that he's going to have to go play in.
Sure, or get in foul trouble. Now maybe Rick Barnes is going to say, hey, that's fine. We'll put Evans in there, and we'll just go a little bit bigger. And we won't rely on that. But, he's in a position where I still watch him, and he seems engaged on the bench, and that's good. He's probably happy to be at Tennessee, and you would hope these guys are all happy that the team's playing a little bit better. And that's what matters most, and you can't really complain during a 3-game winning streak. But I think Abram, he'll come in the game at one point, and he'll be a factor. He'll have a moment the rest of the season. I don't know if Berg will.
I hope not.
Henderson, we'll see. He was back from...
Be careful, Sam.
He was back from injury, but still didn't play very many. He played, 1 minute?
Yeah.
Was in there just for a little bit. We'll see how, if he's able to re-crack the rotation after getting banged up. Are we worried about Okpara moving forward, or is that just like, hey, this game is the only one he's going to miss, and he should be back for the next game? Or do we think that's a lingering issue that we have to monitor? If so, of course, I would rather bench him against Ole Miss and try to get him healthy for the rematch against Kentucky.
Yeah, they said it was a calf and something that's kind of been lingering all year, but he's played through it and it just popped up in pregame or something like that. So yeah, I would probably prefer to sit him against Ole Miss too.
Calf is scary.
Yeah,
the calf is scary. You want him to be healthy in March, and I do think you can get through Ole Miss against him. I think so. Jordan
I think you
writes
can at
in,
least get him on some maybe a little bit of a restriction on minutes. Maybe you go play him against Kentucky, but knowing that you got Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and LSU and Oklahoma after that, maybe he's just not a guy you got to throw out there for 30 plus a night.
Yeah. Maybe he's getting the 15, 16, 17 minutes, and you're hoping that these other guys can come through for him. Jordan writes in, Amen was absolutely terrible for most of the beginning of the season, but he's been playing pretty damn good the last 5 games. Yeah, I don't disagree that he wasn't good enough at the beginning part of the season, but I also would say that that's part of being a freshman. And we kind of hoped that he would get things together. And Barnes was going out of his way to implore everyone to not give up on him, that he would figure it out, that he was too good and too smart not to. It just kind of sucked for him that he was juxtaposed up against the other freshmen in the country that are really, really, really good. And we're good from day one. Amen's really good. He's lacking a really, maybe. Those other guys are really, really, really good, and maybe he's just really, really good. But he also was a little bit of a late bloomer this season compared to other guys who hit the ground running from day one. But we've been looking at the schedule and saying, hey, this upcoming slate, 5-1 at the very least, 6-0 is the target. Sam, I'd imagine you had the Auburn game as the second toughest game of this stretch behind the trip to Rupp.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
When you look at Auburn, Ole Miss, Kentucky, at Mississippi State, LSU, Oklahoma, I think you'd say the Auburn game was the second toughest. So you passed that test with, I don't necessarily want to say flying colors, but you passed the test. They didn't make you sweat too much. You came out really hot and got a big lead and was able to keep it for most of the game. Like I said, I know I got down to 4 a couple times and got down to 3. But you were able to get out with an 8-point win, which, not to toot my own horn, but Greg wrote in saying I predicted an 8-point win on Friday. Not to Not to say that I was right or anything, but John said, feels like an 8-point win, and it was. Sam couldn't be bothered to go to the game, support the boys.
Neither could you.
I was out of town. You were 15 minutes away.
John, you didn't know the roadways here?
Say that again?
You didn't know what the roadways were like here?
No, I didn't. But once I saw all the octogenarians,
using the big word,
sitting courtside and sitting in the first couple of rows, I thought, they made it there. But once I saw a couple olds out there, I was like, you know what? The roads couldn't have been too bad. It was cold though. That would have been a pretty grim trek home, Sam. Had Tennessee lost that game to Auburn and it was 11 p.m. and you had to get home, so I kind of get it.
I mean, I wanted to go to the game.
Yeah. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you were just beating down the door of the Food City Center waiting to get in.
No more Thompson bowling? You've officially given up on that?
Slippery slope, right? Foot in the door approach. You give them the Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center. You keep saying that, and then it just becomes the Food City Center.
Those letters are so small, too, on the outside of the stadium.
And they blend in with the building?
The Food City Center.
Yeah. That'll change soon. They'll give it a facelift.
Did you see those? Yeah, did you see those renderings?
I mean, the renderings looked awesome.
Thank God.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Thompson Bowling Arena is one of the ugliest buildings in the world on the outside, I think.
It truly is. It is.
It's beautiful on the inside.
It's I don't want to call it a cathedral on the inside, but it's the nicest basketball arena in the SEC. One of in the country. It's pretty nice in there. As long as they can get the heating and air fixed. Sometimes you go in there and sweat. Sometimes you go in there and freeze. But, no, it is an eyesore. If Danny can fix that, that'll be a big notch in his belt. Hour 1 in the books. We'll kick off hour 2 with some headlines. We'll look around the rest of the SEC, Tennessee's updated resume, talk a little Super Bowl. Stick with us. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee football. Fans. Fan Run Radio.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Citizens National Bank.
Life is more fun with a Good Life checking account from Citizens National Bank, offering extra benefits including bank travel. This September, experience the perfect fall getaway on the New England Rails and Sails Tour, or join CNB in October to chase the Northern Lights in Iceland. Get in on the fun by calling 865-429-7935.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. Come on, grab a pack. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavor. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Hey, VOLS fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go VOLS.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
All right, next up we have Better Mixer, Spryler Coat.
You're listening to Talk Sports.
Well, let's just ask John which one he uses.
I go with Sprite. Sprite is my favorite mixer. I use Sprite. It's great with vodka. I like it with whiskey. I like it with rum. Sprite is the more versatile.
You're going to do this again?
Airing every day
from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Cam, think of this as the coin toss, right? Think of this as the coin toss in the NFL.
That's not how this works.
He chose to defer, which means I get the ball.
Because everybody who knows you are a Sprite and whiskey guy.
Sprite.
Which is why I chose Sprite as the topic.
Are you going to argue for Coke or not?
No, I'm not going to argue for Coke.
Sprite's
when
better.
do we typically
I mix
decide?
Sprite with my volunteer vodka. It's delicious. You can't mix Coke with vodka. If I want some whiskey, I'm in a whiskey mood. You know what I can also mix it with? Sprite.
On 1340 WKGN.
Defend your topic, please. We're running out of time.
I prefer Coke as a mixer with any alcohol. It's going to keep you up longer throughout the night, give you more energy. Coke, much, much better as a mixer than soda. Soda's bad for you. I don't know if you knew this. If you just stick to Coke and vodka, lessens the calories, keeps you up longer throughout the night. You have a much better time. More of a party if you go Coke over Sprite. And you're bound to attract more women.
Hour number 2 kicking off here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. I've gotten a couple texts. John, I didn't know you were a vest guy. Well, I'm on record as not being a vest guy. But I do got to say, I do feel like I look pretty sharp on the video. Bubba, how many booms would you give this? Or dooms, I guess.
Well, because it's kind of Titans inspired with the undercoating.
Sure.
I'll give you 4 big booms. The vest definitely shines through, though. It helps the colors underneath pop.
Sure.
But also, it's it's doing its job. It's keeping you warm up top, too.
I am
Looks
warm
great.
up top, yeah. So 4 booms?
Boom! 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 Boom!
Shout out to Inward Half. If you want to be a vest guy. I don't know how other vests feel. This one fits pretty nicely. This one's nice. I don't know if I can steal Bob and Williams, flow, Sam.
Yeah, you think Williams going to be mad at you when you walk in today and he sees you in the vest? Like, there's only room for one of us in this office.
Well, then I would say, that's Bob Baskerville because he did it first. William. So if there's room for one of you, then it has to be Bob. If there's room for two of you, yeah, I mean, I guess I would be the third one to the party. But, you know, I don't want to say I look better in it than William does, but
I think you might have.
I've gotten a lot of compliments about it. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. And thanks for all the people who have texted me telling me I look so handsome. Thanks. Hour 2 headlines. Let's kick it off. What you got, Sam?
February 2nd, you know what that means, John?
I do know what it means.
That fat hog in the ground.
Uh-huh.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Uh-huh.
He has seen his shadow. There is more winter coming.
He has a lower than 50% hit rate, though. So, like,
he does have a bad track record.
Yeah, so technically this is good news for us.
That is a good spin zone. I like that.
Yeah, he shoots under 50%. I want to say the last time I saw the number, he was like 47% accurate. So, like, that means more times than not, he's been right the other way.
How long has he been alive?
This one,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got different ones. It's not the same groundhog.
Every year it's not the same one?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you meant is this the same groundhog for like the last 100 years that has been doing this?
I knew that eventually he'd die off.
It's different. It's a different one. I don't know how many they have. I would imagine they just get a different one every year, but maybe not. Maybe this one groundhog gets to eat like a king all year while the rest of them starve out there in the cold. It is such a weird tradition.
It's a terrible tradition. We couldn't pick any animal that's like cooler than a groundhog. I think we'd take it more serious if we had like I don't know,
dog.
Honestly, maybe.
We let dogs pick which football helmet we're rooting for and stuff on some of these prediction stuff. So maybe it was great marketing by the town of Punxsutawney.
So this is going to be a really dumb question, but I'm going to say it anyways.
It's a really dumb topic of Groundhog Day, so I think it'll fit.
This is just for America and Canada, right? Or do they also do this over in like, the Netherlands, Asia, Australia?
No,
it's definitely us.
If you believe things about more winter from an American groundhog as an international person, you're just flat out stupid.
If you believe it as an American, you're flat out stupid.
Yeah, but even more so is like you're across the pond in like Germany and you're like, oh, this groundhog has had 6 more weeks of winter.
I will say that we had a pretty good run prior to last week of a pretty good winter. Pretty good late fall, pretty good winter. The weather was good, but man, it's been absolutely brutal the last 2 weeks. And like, I don't know if there's any signs of slowing down here when you check the forecast. I guess we're going to get to highs of 40, 45 tomorrow. Okay. But it's got the little snow icon next to it. So we're going to get more snow. But if it gets to 45, it'll melt a lot of it away. 48 on Friday. Okay, I can live with that. 43 on Saturday. Back in the 50s on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And oh my God, Wednesday, 61 degrees. All right.
Nice.
That is literal light at the end of the tunnel. All right, let's go. A little sunlight at the end of the tunnel.
What if, like, how sure are we that this tradition just stays alive for a long time? Like, when could we see Groundhog's Day and these little guys in their top hats and suits and stuff? Like, could we see this just disappear?
I don't know if this is accurate or not, just for the record, but Brizzy writes in saying it's German pagan tradition.
Maybe they do care about it over there in Germany.
Yeah, it's like maybe is Punxsutawney. I mean, that is it's not a German word per se.
I think that's just the town. And
no, I know, but why the town did it as well. I was wondering. Like, I didn't know if it was like a German town. They're like, oh, we do that.
Maybe
I don't know. I was going to ask you the same thing about how long you think we keep up this charade, but I will say that it's kind of nice to have something like this. I hate it. Or I don't hate it. I don't care strongly enough about it to hate it. I think it's goofy. Even as a kid, I thought it was goofy. But it is nice for a town to have like something to look forward to each year.
I feel like it's just something that like older generations have kind of kept going, whereas like probably kids my age they just don't care at all. So it's like, are they going to care to keep a groundhog getting pulled out of the ground every winter?
You're not old enough yet to find the nostalgia of it, though.
Are you a big fan of the movie with Bill Murray?
Don't really care about it. Both ways. I'm not really a big fan of the nostalgia yet. Am I going to get to that point?
I don't know. There's certain things that see. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the nostalgia, but like I said, it is nice to have certain things. Like, oh, yep, February 2nd, that's Groundhog Day. Let's go check in on this little town in Pennsylvania. Oh, the mayor's wearing a damn tuxedo and top out for some reason. What the hell's going on here? Like, certain things are quirky enough that I kind of hope they don't end. I don't know how I feel about the movie Groundhog Day, though. I don't know how I feel about Bill Murray as a lead actor, to be honest. I'm not saying I'm out on him as a lead actor. I'm just saying I don't know how I feel about him as a lead actor. I like him in Lost in Translation. But as like a love interest, I don't know. How do you feel about the movie Groundhog Day, Bubba?
It's like I've seen the movie again and again.
I mean, it is cool how that became kind of, a big part of pop culture and like just common vernacular now. When something happens over and over, it's Groundhog Day. It kind of
get that deja vu out of here.
Yeah, it kind of hijacked the meaning of the day a little bit of like the actual groundhog. It just kind of became popular for a phrase of just things repeating itself. So that's kind of interesting. Apparently, they used to use badgers in Germany. I don't know.
That's cooler.
Yeah.
Little Tyrann Matthew out there.
Mm-hmm. Let's pull Tyrann Matthew out of the ground.
He's podcasting these days. Did you see him ranting about Lane Kiffin over the weekend?
Yeah, almost went here.
Said he wanted to come to Tennessee because he had, quote, never seen white women like this. Didn't know white women could be built the way they were in Knoxville. But that Tennessee didn't offer him a scholarship at his camp.
Have we seen his wife?
Honey Badger's wife? No, I haven't seen his wife.
I wonder if he found love in the bayou.
I don't know. I don't know about
his. Or if maybe like years later he still has not found love, and he's like, man, I could have had a nice family if I was in Knoxville.
Oh,
I didn't get the vibe that he was looking for the nice family type of girls. I think he was just wanting to find as many of these built white women that he could find. I think.
Oh, she is not a built white woman.
Okay.
Coaching hires in the NFL. Rounding out the cycle, the Cardinals hire Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur as their next head coach, and the Raiders are reportedly zeroing in on Clint Kubiak, but obviously nothing going to be official with Kubiak until the completion of the Super Bowl. But it seems like those are going to be the final two head coaching candidates to round out this year's cycle.
Okay. Now we can move on.
Raheem Morris, DC, over in San Francisco for the 49ers now.
Okay, so he was
Saleh.
He was a DC for a little bit with McVay, right? Over with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, going and taking over the 49ers. Coaching with a good offensive coach helps. Doing it with McVay, doing it with Shanahan helps. But man, like, I don't know how good that 49ers roster is right now on the defensive side of the ball. It seems like there's a lot of old, banged up, expensive guys over there. Which, I think that's part of the reason they love Saleh so much is that he was able to squeeze everything out of him that he could. I don't think there's a lot of talent. Now, maybe if you tell me Bosa and Fred Warner get back and they're healthy and they're, 90% of what they used to be, they'll still be really good players. But maybe if you're also Raheem Morris, you don't have very many options. It's not like you can be necessarily picky.
I feel like it's at least a solid idea for the Niners to where you kind of get a guy who's probably not really got a whole lot of interest in terms of like the head coaching cycle. Like you feel like you can probably stick on to him for a little while.
Yeah, maybe.
Eagles are trying to make sure that Vic Fangio doesn't retire.
That seems like it should be a priority. Have they hired an offensive coordinator yet?
They hired Sean Mannion.
Okay. The guy that used to play quarterback?
Yeah, the old Oregon State quarterback.
Guy? Okay. So not Nagy?
No.
Poor Nagy didn't get a job?
I don't think Nagy got a job.
Okay. All right. Little pop culture news on the way out. The 68th edition of the Grammy Awards took place last night. I'll run you through the big four. Song of the Year, Billie Eilish, Wildflower. Bubba's shaking his head no.
They got lucky with that because that released on the album back in 2024.
Okay, I was gonna say, isn't
in
this song
June or something like that?
Isn't this song old?
Yeah, but then they released it separately after the album in later of 2024. So somehow it still got that 70-week window to work with.
That's very strange because it was nominated for awards last year.
Yeah. Not happy with that decision.
No, that one is dumb.
Do you know what the other nominees were?
Yeah, I got them in front of me. Lady Gaga, Abracadabra, Doechii, Anxiety, Rose and Bruno Mars, APT, Bad Bunny, DTMF, Hunter, Golden, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA. SZA, yeah, I know. Well, I know, but it's one of those that I go back and forth on. Luther, that song came out in 2024 as well, right? Or 2023. That song's been out forever, right?
I think that's been out for a while.
And Sabrina Carpenter, Manchild were the other ones for Song of the Year. Record of the Year was Kendrick Lamar and SZA with Luther. Album of the Year, Bad Bunny. And Best New Artist, Olivia Dean. I got to say, I don't really know who Olivia Dean is.
She's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does she sing? I mean, not songs, but what's her vibe?
Industry plant? I don't. She's like a British girl.
Okay. Is she like Adele? Is she trying to do like Adele?
Yeah. I mean, she's got a really good voice. I think.
Well, this is what I do.
She's kind of got an old vibe to her. It feels like her voice just doesn't seem super, modern and a bunch of tracks behind it and stuff. It's kind of just her going out there and singing.
I mean, but this seems crazy to me just looking at her.
Got to do with Cartier.
She has a couple songs from 2021, from 2023, and she wins Best New Artist.
I think she's really popped though in the last year.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are for this.
I don't either.
Does that have to do with labels and being independent versus actually having somebody out there?
I don't know, man. Her album Messy in 2023 was a studio release. I mean, it was
Lola Young.
I don't know what Lola Young is. What is Lola Young?
She's also an English artist who has a song called Messy.
Oh, okay. Then no.
She went AWOL and then just showed up last night.
In April 2021, Sam, she was named the Breakthrough Artist of the Year by Amazon Music.
I don't create the awards, brother.
In November 2023, she was selected as BBC Music Introducing Artist of the Year. I'm so confused how she can win Best New Artist.
Maybe she was just popping over there, across the pond.
Is that how it is? She's debuting in America?
Do we subscribe to what BBC's got to say?
No, but Amazon gave her an award in 2021. That was 5 years ago.
What was it again?
Best Artist, 2021. It was the Amazon. It was introducing music. So maybe it had something to do with new artists. Interesting.
That's why I don't watch these award shows.
It does get very confusing. The music one's very confusing to me on when you're. So, Bub, you said it's 70 weeks?
I think that's what I saw.
Okay. But even then, like I said, she was out here in 2021.
Luther came out back in November of 2024.
Okay. Man, I would have guessed that was even before then. I didn't see any performances. I was watching It Chapter 2 last night instead.
Spooky, spooky, spooky.
Damn clown.
I watched that Roofman movie that you saw.
What'd you like? Did you like it?
I thought it was actually really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you it was pretty good. Now, it's one of those that I think it has to be Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst. or, it doesn't have to be those two per se, but like, I do think those two being so charming and those two like working together and like both just being pretty good actors and like you're kind of rooting for them because you like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could have easily gone off the rails had those two not been so likable.
What would be a bad cast for that movie?
Just Matt Damon instead of Channing Tatum. I don't ever root for Matt Damon. I'm good on that. I just have a soft spot for Channing Tatum.
I like Matt Damon.
Yeah, but not like as the quirky, kooky guy.
Not living in a Toys R Us guy.
Yeah, that's Channing Tatum's lane. Like kind of dangerous, but also good. You could tell he's got a good heart. And like I think there's few people equipped to play like the lowly single mom trying to raise her girls, working at Toys R Us. Very few of them could do it as good as Kirsten Dunst. She screams middle America. She's got that going for her. Just the working woman's actress is kind of who she is. So yeah, pretty good movie. I liked it.
Wouldn't have pulled at the heartstrings as much either if it was like I always forget the name of that little person.
Oh, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. But like that wouldn't have worked if it was just like a normal human as the angry boss.
Okay,
like
let's be careful calling him a normal human. He's still a normal human, Sam.
You knew what I meant.
He is still a human. He still has rights and rules.
I meant normal sized human.
We apologize to the dwarf community. Let's go to break. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Streaming worldwide at fanrunradio.com and on the free Fan Run app. This is Big Orange Country's sports talk radio superstation, Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Citizens National Bank.
Life is more fun with a Good Life checking account from Citizens National Bank, offering extra benefits including bank travel. This September, experience the perfect fall getaway on the New England Rails and Sails Tour, or join CNB in October to chase the Northern Lights in Iceland. Get in on the fun by calling 865-429-7935.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
At Knoxville Insurance Group, they understand the challenges many consumers face when searching for insurance coverage. That's why whether it's for you, your family, or your business, they create a coverage plan specifically for your unique needs. Knoxville Insurance Group is an independent firm, which means they aren't beholden to just one insurance company. They search multiple companies, acting as your negotiator to find you the best possible policy and price. Start a quote in minutes at KnoxvilleInsuranceGroup.com or call them today at 865-694-9788.
A little bit of breaking news in the college football world. Gus Malzahn retiring from coaching. Florida State announces.
RIP.
That was a flop for him going to Florida State. They can never take away that first game against Alabama, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the Khalifa Keith transfer?
Yeah.
What am I to make of that other than, wow, look how far Alabama has fallen? Because when I saw the headline that former Tennessee running back Khalifa Keith was transferring to Alabama, I just thought, wow, how sad for Alabama. Look at what Kalen DeBoer has done to that program. Fair or not, I just thought that when I saw Keith. Because he wasn't very good when he was here.
Did he even really get onto the field?
I remember him having a couple carries. Am I misremembering, or did he have like a big run in garbage time against Missouri in 2023? I want to, or 2000. That'd been 2021. Would he still be in school? I guess if he was a freshman in 2021, maybe. Would that?
I don't remember any Khalifa Keith highlights, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that. I guess that wasn't him, but he did get he got some carries against Virginia. 2 carries against Virginia, 2 carries against UTSA, 3 carries against UConn, 3 carries against Iowa at Tennessee in 2023. Got 21 carries and a touchdown in 2024. Then went to App State, where he had 3 carries for 8 yards, and now he's headed to Alabama. But yeah, when I saw that, I couldn't help but think, wow, what a fall for Alabama. Did you guys, just while we're talking about coaches, did you guys see the Epstein files get released and how there were a couple sports guys named in them? Russell Wilson came out and said, "Not today, Satan. I just wanted to buy a plane. I was just wanting a private jet, and I was talking to some plane brokers, and that's why I'm attached in this."
There's got to be other planes out there, though.
He said the broker reached out to him. You can't help who. If you're in the market for a house, Sam, and a real estate guy calls you and offers you a murder house, you don't necessarily get implemented just because somebody calls and has a conversation with you about a house where some torturing used to happen. I'm giving Russell Wilson the benefit of the doubt. Now, Robert Kraft, on the other hand, as Robert Kraft is getting ready to go to the Super Bowl and try to win another one of those, I don't know if he gets the benefit of the doubt, because Robert Kraft, we know how he gets down in those massage parlors, which is apparently why Epstein reached out to him. Jeffrey Epstein reached out to him to recommend a lawyer. Hey, are you caught in some sex scandal? Hey, I got just the guy for you, buddy, old pal.
Oh, Epstein reached out to Kraft saying, like, hey, I got a lawyer for you.
I don't know, like, if he just like reached out unsolicitedly or whatever, but the DOJ files had that Jeffrey Epstein urged Patriots owner Robert Kraft to hire Jack Goldberg in his 2019 case. In an email exchange between Epstein and Goldberg, a notable criminal defense attorney, Goldberg wrote, "See, Kraft got arrested. Should take legal news away from us." And then Epstein says, "Yes, I'm trying to have him hire you." And then he ends up hiring him. The New York Giants owner, at least the co-owner, he got wrapped up in this as well. Steve Tisch. To which Steve Tisch put out a statement like, "Hey, if I wanted to have sex with underage girls, I could do so. I don't need Epstein's help," which is kind of what Elon Musk's defense was too. Was like, come on, guys. You think I'd really have to ask Epstein for help? Tisch was like, I wanted legal of age prostitutes. I didn't want any of the weird island stuff. I was looking for just, maybe a companion of age. Maybe she's illegally sex trafficked too, but hey, I'm not a creep. Do you think the Giants are going to make him sell? Because I kind of do. I kind of think the Giants are going to make him sell the team. At least find somebody else to come. He owns a.
I was going to say he's not is he the majority owner?
No, he's not. He's not the main person. I don't know exactly what percentage he has, but he's been listed as just the co-owner, which usually they say minority owner at that point. Bubba, you're making a face?
Well, they've got the Ray Allen letter to my younger self in this.
I don't know what that is.
Apparently, he wrote a letter about how he's going to end up playing with Kevin Garnett, LeBron James. Because I looked up if LeBron James was associated in this in any way, and his name did pop up in a couple search results, according to the justice.gov and the DOJ.
It says the Tisch family owns 45%. And he also acts as chairman and executive vice president. So, yeah, I guess he is a big deal there. I wonder if the NFL is going to make him sell. Of just hey, this is a bad look. This is no good for you. That was interesting over the weekend.
I wonder if any other owners will get.
I feel like we would have had their names leaked by now. They released a whole bunch of new files over the weekend or maybe on Friday, and we got the sports stuff out there fairly quickly, I thought. But yeah, I guess maybe there's a lot of them you have to go through and look as many names as possible.
When Peyton Manning plays, ticket prices double on the secondary market.
Whoa. We're talking about Epstein. You don't throw the sheriff's name in there when we're talking. What are you talking about? Is that an ad you're reading?
It's just in an email from Will Ford.
Oh.
In the files, whoever that guy is.
Oh. Just talking about Peyton Manning?
Yeah, I'm just looking up athletes, see if they got any dirt.
Well, let's not try to take down one of our own, Bubba.
You're right. I should go after Tom Brady.
Go after Tom Brady first. Yeah, let's Tom Brady, Dan Marino, Tony Romo, if we can get him off TV. Let's weaponize this, not to take down one of our own. Awkward transition to other coaches talking, but Todd Golden stuffed Nate Oates in a locker over the weekend.
Well, Golden may be in these files as well.
Speaking of sexual deviance, that would have been a better transition there. But you can't deny what he did to Nate Oates. Just absolutely stuffed him in a locker.
I don't like Todd Golden, but his comments to the media have been pretty awesome the last couple days. Just you know what? Bediako's going to play. One player doesn't change it. I don't care. We're going to beat the hell out of him anyways. Nate Oates can tell us that we're going to spend 10 seconds in the paint, and that's why our rebounding numbers are good. Post-game, he was like, I thought they did a good job of 1, 2, and then scoring the ball. Just absolutely.
To which his media got a good giggle out of that, of him counting down the 2 seconds to respond to Nate Oates, saying that you said that they only can rebound because they're in the paint for so long. And then Florida comes out and scores, what was it, 72 points in the paint?
Yeah.
That was an absolute beatdown. Florida feels championship level good again.
Dropping 100 points, shooting 23% from 3 and 65% from the free throw line is pretty impressive.
Now, what I will say, and this is not a defense of Nate Oates as we look around the rest of the SEC right now, it's not a defense of Nate Oates, but when you see what happened to them against Florida, and when you see kind of what happened to them against Tennessee, even with Bediako, imagine what that would have looked like if they didn't have him out there. Florida scored 70 paints at the point with the G Leaguer out there. How bad is that if he's not out there trying to help? I thought it was dumb last week that Alabama got to stay inside the top 25. I imagine that is going to be rectified today, right? There's no way they're staying there. Tennessee should be getting, at the very least, getting that 23rd spot. Tennessee should be back in the top 25, and we can knock out Alabama. But for all the crying about Bediako, He came out there against Florida yesterday, 24 minutes, 6 points, fouled out. Did you feel bad for him at all as they're chanting G League dropout at him?
Not one bit.
Not one bit. Would you do the same thing if you were him? I've been trying to think about that because I like to try to I like to try to walk a mile in someone else's shoes. I like to try to be empathetic and think about, would I do this if in the same position?
I think no. Like,
you don't think so?
I think
why not?
The rest of college basketball hates you. You have so much. You've probably got thousands of people DMing you every single day.
Yeah.
You know,
Your brand just went up.
I think also whenever you inevitably, if you can play for the rest of the season, and even if you do play, like NBA people are going to take you less seriously. Of like, all right, this kid was in the G League and he had to go back to college for a year to try and be a better player, and now we're just going to take him and magically he's going to be an actual NBA player.
You're faulting a man for getting his degree?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Spin zone, education. To me, it's more about, like, I would like to know how much money he's making at Alabama to make it worthwhile. Like, what number would it have to be, Sam, for you to feel like, okay, this is fine. This is all good with me? If they were giving him $50,000 to come in and play for 2 months, I feel like I'd probably do it for $50,000 for 2 months.
Just go try and play international ball somewhere for more than $50,000.
Yeah. Maybe there's a promise that they'll bring him back next year too, though, and then he can make some actual money. But like we talk about slippery slope.
You're just a loser if you come back next year and you're 28 years old playing college basketball or whatever the hell he is.
I don't think he's quite that old, but
it was exaggeration.
Yeah,
but he'll probably be 26.
When they were chatting G League dropout on him, I did feel a little bad for him. But I was like, you signed up for it. And I was wondering what his mental makeup was. Maybe not so much feeling bad for him as like, I wonder how he's taking this.
He's soft as hell.
Yeah.
Ruben Chinyelu was just destroying him all night long.
That's a big old boy, though.
Well,
yeah.
You want to play professional basketball? That's who you're going to go up against if you're a big man.
You would think if you're a grown-ass man like Bediako is that he would maybe fare a little bit better. He's clearly just not good enough.
Yeah.
Bediako. Like you said, maybe he should just be packing up and going overseas. You can make a good living over there, buddy. But the slippery slope is sliding, as you saw Amari Bailey. Is this a name you remember from UCLA?
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to come back to school now, and he actually played in the NBA. Unlike Bediako, who only played in the G League, Amari Bailey is attempting to become the first basketball player that actually played in the NBA. And he played 10 games in the NBA. But now he has an agent and a lawyer, and he's prepared to fight the NCAA.
All of this stuff is just so confusing to me. I have no idea how what makes this kid, like, fall under the same umbrella. Because I thought the whole thing with Bediako was just he didn't play an actual NBA game.
Well, that's what we're trying to find. We're going to try to find where the line is. And I think I jokingly talked about it with Alabama about, Kenny Chandler, and people are like, oh, he played in the NBA. I was like, yeah, but at a certain point, we'll start looking at, Chandler only played 30 games his rookie year. Does that really count? I was being a little hyperbolic, a little facetious, but we are here now where he's like, hey, I played, but I only played 10 games. Quote, I made some mistakes as an 18-year-old freshman. I left UCLA with, quote, a lot to prove on the table. Right now, I would be a senior in college. I'm not trying to be 27 playing college. No shade to the guys that do. That's their journey. But I went to go play professionally and learned a lot. Went through a lot. So, why not me? Well, to which I would say is probably why not you is the fact that you played in the NBA and did go through a journey where you got to learn a lot, whereas other players aren't getting that. He played 10 games for the Charlotte Hornets his rookie season on a 2-way contract, spent 2 years in the G League before being cut over the summer. So this is kind of just like his last-ditch effort of like, hey, I'm not good enough for the G League anymore. Can I go back to college?
It's just such a coward move, in my opinion. I'm not good enough to play at the next level, so I'm going to try and go down a level to take somebody else's spot who's working for that spot in that current level of basketball.
Yeah, but what do you say to the people, Sam, who say that, like, hey, the European Professional League, why is that not treated as professional? Because that's what Alabama fans spent the last 2 weeks saying,
because those kids never went to college to go play.
Gave up their eligibility.
That's just not really a thing over there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of kids that start out playing whatever amateur, professional, whatever those minor leagues are. They start playing it at 16. That's basically just their high school basketball.
Do you have to be foreign for that to work? So, like, you remember when LaMelo Ball went overseas and played, like, was it with Lithuania?
I think it was like Australia, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah, maybe. Brandon Jennings did that as well, where they bypassed college and went to play in Europe. Would they have had a chance to be eligible in your rules? Or, hey, your American college basketball was an option for you and you chose against it and went and played professionally?
Yeah, that's what I would go. I mean, it was clear that LaMelo's plan was like, I don't even want to spend time at college. I'm just going to go.
I don't even know if he even finished high school. I don't even know if for some reason, I couldn't remember if he even played his senior year at Chino Hills, or if he just, because I know they were doing the big baller brand league or whatever. And I kind of feel like they were trying to use that to take place of the AAU college high school circuit. I just didn't know at what age if he even finished. So
I don't really have a problem because it was clear what his plan was. He was dead set on getting to the NBA, and he just was saying, I feel like I'm good enough to where I don't have to go play in college. I'm just going to go bet on myself, play professionally, which is allowed to go play a year, make money, and then just, meet the age threshold for the NBA draft and be an international player. But where I have the problem is someone who just wants to go dip their toes into every single level of basketball just to see where they can get drafted.
Everyone points to this James. Is it James and Najee?
Yeah, and Johnny.
Johnny.
I don't think this guy should be playing either.
Okay, so you don't think he should be playing?
No.
Everyone points to him. He was the guy that was drafted to play in Europe, or he's drafted to play in the NBA, but he decided not to and played professional European basketball instead. Now, he's from Nigeria. Where was he at? Do we know where he was at when he got drafted? Was he still like just in Nigeria?
He played for Baylor.
He played for Baylor, left, then came back, or he's playing for Baylor now?
Oh, you're saying like where he where he started.
I'm talking about his journey.
Yeah, no, he just played over there. Like,
yeah,
I don't even know where he was at.
He was playing with SC Barcelona in 2020. Got drafted. Okay. Well, like, I am curious to see, do we think this UCLA guy has a chance of being eligible? Because it seems crazy to me that you could play 10 NBA games and try to sue to come back in. Like, I feel like there's enough of some wiggle room with the G League conversation, to me personally. And even with this Johnny guy playing in Europe, there's enough of a gray area for me to not have a zero tolerance policy. But I do feel like, man, if you play in the NBA, actual NBA games, that's it. Sorry, brother. Like, we'd love to have Candy Chandler back. Sorry, brother. We can't call Candy. He played 30 games in the NBA. Chandler would be one of these guys that made a mistake. Chandler was maybe a year early before the NIL deals really took off, where you really could have made it a actual competition. Because he made, what, $3 million? What was his contract he signed in the NBA? What did he get? Because I know the Grizzlies gave him like a really good
two-way.
No, he had a second-round pick grade. Or yeah, he had a second-round grade. It wasn't a two-way. No, he got an actual NBA contract.
4-year, $7 million rookie contract from the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that would be it. And at one point, that was like one of the highest, if not the highest, for a second-round pick ever. Because they gave him $4.94 million guaranteed.
That's what they said. It was the largest guarantee for a second-round pick at the time.
Right. So he got a big-time contract for a second rounder. Now, I think when Kenny Chandler left, he probably thought he was going to be a first-round pick. But he got a second round, top of the second round, and then got $4.94 million guaranteed. So you can only feel so sorry for somebody that gets a $5 million check. But at the same time, I would imagine he would have made more than $5 million had he played at Tennessee for like the next 3 years. Or at least would have made comparable to that. Now his basketball career has just kind of been in turmoil, in flux, trying to find a home, trying to show out in the G League and get a chance, and it's just not really working. He was just a little bit too early to where I think, you would have seen some school, if not Tennessee, offer him $1.5, $2 million for another year of school. And maybe these players wouldn't have had to go do that. It's so gross. We'll look at the rest of the SEC on the other side. I know we just talked about Florida, Alabama there. We'll get your weekend recap. We'll check the standings. We'll check Tennessee's updated resume. Stick with us. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620. That's 1-800-639-8620.
Sam, you are the host of Southeastern Conversation right here on the Fan Run Podcast Network. If you're watching on YouTube, go check out Sam's videos as well. When he posts them, check out the podcast. Bring me up to speed what happened this weekend in the SEC. Tennessee, all of a sudden kind of hovering around getting back in the race for the SEC championship.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tennessee's got to be feeling a lot better in terms of where they're at, just, kind of picking up some momentum. You got back-to-back road wins. You got a huge win over Auburn. Texas A&M stayed hot. They just kind of beat the hell out of Georgia. But then I think you kind of look around the league and, Vandy struggled a little bit with Ole Miss. Arkansas dropped one to Mark Pope. Alabama looking wounded a little bit. So I think you're starting to see maybe a little bit of the cream rise to the top, kind of.
Was the A&M win at Georgia? They won what, 92-77? Was that more about Georgia or more about A&M in your opinion? Because it felt like a disappointing result for Georgia.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be a little bit more disappointing for Georgia. I feel like it was a pretty hot shooting night for A&M.
They've now all of a sudden lost 3 in a row. Mike White and the boys taking on water, having gotten ran out of the gym last weekend against Texas, or I guess 2 weekends ago at this point, at Texas in the second half. Then, of course, dropping the midweek game to Tennessee in overtime. and then getting ran off their own home floor by Texas A&M. They got to go to LSU on Saturday. This is a light week for college basketball, for SEC basketball. It's weird. Only 4 games. Have you checked that? Only 2 games on Tuesday and 2 games on Wednesday. So a lot of teams getting their bye week here. Georgia needs one to kind of lick their wounds. A&M, though, stays at the top of the SEC standings at 7-1. Their schedule's getting ready to get a little bit tougher as they're getting ready to go and start being tested. They play at Alabama, then Florida over the next 2 games. They actually play in the middle of the week. They go to Alabama on Wednesday, and then, Florida at home on Saturday. So we're about to see a little bit more of what they're made of. What else stood out? I saw Oklahoma continued to lose. They jumped out to a really fast start against Texas, but then Texas kind of took over that game in the second half and ended up kind of blowing them out.
Yeah, it feels like Oklahoma is like almost guaranteed to go up by 10 at some point in their game and then just lose the lead every single time and continue to lose.
Feels like this is about to be it for Porter Moser, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit overdue, to be honest with you.
Anything else stand out to you from the weekend?
I mean, the response from Kentucky, I think, is notable. You just can't kill this team, it seems like.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you are a Kentucky fan and you had 3 games circled this year, you probably could say you've won 2 of them. Winning inside the Thompson-Boling Arena at Food City Center, going down to Arkansas and beating Calipari.
Yeah.
They lost to Louisville. They probably would have circled that one too, and they lost that one. But Mark Pope does seem like, despite how much people keep getting disgusted by their performances, it does feel like he's probably on the right side of saving his job and building towards something.
Was there something like 7 technicals given in that game?
It was crazy. There was 3 on like basically one play,
like 30 seconds.
Yeah, there was 3 given out, and it was hotly contested at the end of the game to the point where the announcers were surprised that Kentucky players were going to try to shake Arkansas players' hands. They thought it'd just kind of separate.
Something that is surprising now is they get their ass kicked, but they're now 8-1 under Mark Pope after a double-digit loss.
Really?
Yeah.
So they are good at responding.
Yeah.
Because they got blown out in the middle of the week and then, bounced back. And quite frankly, that was a really impressive win going down to Arkansas. Like, I'll ask you the same question. Was that more about Arkansas dropping the ball and Calipari choking, or is that about Kentucky's mental resolve and Mark Pope being able to get those boys playing after a loss? Because when you give me that stat that they are good at bouncing back, I think I make it more about Mark Pope.
Yeah, I do think it was a little bit more about just the bounce back from Kentucky. Apparently, they got a nice stern talking to after that Vanderbilt loss. And then, I mean, Arkansas just didn't really shoot it that well either. Acuff didn't really have his A game, and from 3, they were all struggling.
Tennessee starting to move up a little bit. I saw in maybe it was a CBS bracketology, Tennessee up to a 5 seed. So starting to move up a little bit. When Joe Lunardi put out his S-curve, Tennessee had moved up to the top, I want to say the top 6 seed. I want to say they were number 21. That was before winning against Auburn on Saturday. So they're starting to trend in the right direction. Syracuse moved into a quad 1 opportunity. So at least that loss is off your resume for now. They're kind of right there inside the 75 cutoff. They have 2 tough games coming up. I think they play Virginia and North Carolina this week.
They play North Carolina tonight.
I want to say both on the road.
Yeah.
If Syracuse could win one of those, that'd be great. But maybe just getting those teams on the schedule would be enough to keep them in the top 70. Tennessee, 5-6 now in the quad 1. If you look at, adding the Auburn game, if they're able to kind of hang in there. Ole Miss is kind of a must-win on Tuesday because Ole Miss coming in as a quad 3 team. They're one of the worst teams in the SEC, right?
Yeah.
Bottom 2, bottom 3.
Maybe a little bit better than that, but yeah, they're not
Okay.
good.
You got to win that. And then, of course, the big showdown on Saturday in Rupp as you try to get your lick back against Kentucky. We'll be doing a fan-run watch party at Barley's in the Old City, weather permitting, although, like I said, I think it's supposed to be pretty warm, all things considered, this weekend. So we hope to see you there. Come hang out, watch some basketball. Tennessee, hopefully, will be riding a 4-game win streak. Do you feel like, Sam, Tennessee can catch A&M in Florida for the number 1 seed in the SEC to win an SEC championship, or are they too far behind at this point?
Yeah, I don't feel great about catching Florida. I think A&M is attainable. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're like top dog in the SEC. And, obviously just kind of having that head-to-head over them, I think will be something that could potentially kind of be significant as the season continues to go on. But I don't know. You look at kind of what's ahead, and, you got Vanderbilt twice. You got Kentucky again. Feels like this is still, I don't know, for maybe where the vibes were at a couple weeks ago. I think this is still an opportunity to kind of be right back in there in the driver's seat in the SEC.
At least get your top 4 seed,
yeah,
like you wanted. I mean, to me, that's kind of always the goal. Be a top 4 team in the SEC, be a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. Those things are still on the table. You're working your way up in the NCAA tournament seeding line, and you gotta keep it rolling. As far as catching Florida, you're only 1 game behind in the loss column, and they do have their next 2 games on the road at A&M and at Georgia, and then home for Kentucky on Valentine's Day. So they do have at least 3 tricky games coming up. Maybe you could have them drop one of those. Now, of course, if you're talking about just winning it outright, you're going to be a game ahead of Florida since they beat you head-to-head, and you don't get a rematch in Knoxville. That's tough. But it's nice just to be having those conversations. To me, that's a testament to the team kind of turning the corner here. Where it gets a little bit trickier for Florida the next couple of weeks, we've been talking about how it gets a little bit easier for Tennessee. That is the case for Tennessee, hopefully getting ready to have the schedule lighten up. And outside of that trip to Rupp, you got some really winnable games before you go to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt survived against Ole Miss. That was a home game that had gotten flipped because of the weather. That they almost stubbed their toe there, but they were able to survive. There's your SEC roundup. Again, check out the Southeastern Conversation when you see it pop up on your podcast feed and when you see it hit your YouTube video stream. Give it a watch. Sam will keep you smarter about the SEC as a whole. Is that recording today, Sam? You recording that this afternoon?
Yes, sir.
That should be up by 4 o'clock or so, I'd say. So check out some SEC discussion. Hour 2 in the books. We got Bubba's headlines coming up to kick off hour 3. Stick with us right here on Fan Run Radio.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the C&B Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at C&B has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
The best athletes don't just play the game, they change it. When it comes to investing, GainBridge is doing the same. Their online platform does things differently because it's designed to put you in charge of growing your own savings. It's intuitive, it's easy, and best of all, it's on your terms. No wonder GainBridge has earned the trust of 40% repeat customers. It's a better way to invest because it's investing your way. Get started today at GainBridge.io.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing. and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Whether it's a routine cleaning, whitening for that big event, or fixing a nagging toothache, our gentle team is here for you. With flexible hours, family-friendly care, and the latest technology, Knoxville Smiles makes every visit stress-free. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Call Knoxville Smiles today at 865-539-1776 or book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court-martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
Round 3.
The world's greatest radio show. The world's greatest radio show in Tennessee.
Power Rankings, Tuesday Trivia. John Reed and Cody going wild, no Olivia. Wood grain on my leather seats. I got the whole team eating like I'm Johnny Eats. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Talk sports while I'm chewing a Zen. Ay. Talk sports while I'm riding to work. All the ops take a ride in a hearse. East Knoxville. Morning booming from 7 to 10. Ay. Morning booming from
3 7 kicking to off 10. here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Shout out to everybody still rocking with us on this cold, chilly Monday morning. Last hour of Talk Sports today before we get you to the Tony Basilio Show. Let's kick it off with some headlines. Bubba, Sam, what you got for me?
Starting off through the break, we have the Nashville Predators GM Barry Trotz stepping down.
Oh.
He says he will remain on until a successor is found.
Has he been bad?
Well, they kind of were bad, and then they got good this year, or they got hot. They got off to kind of a rough start, and then now Preds have been playing better. They kind of have some exciting prospects. They've had a decent amount of picks in the draft. I don't keep up with them like super close, but my buddies that are dedicated Preds fans are pretty surprised.
Maybe he said, hey, my job here is done. I don't know. All right, well, RIP to him.
We have the MLB and the MLBA are lobbying the World Baseball Classic insurer to change some of its decisions on the players. This is after the Puerto Rico Baseball Federation seeks private insurance alternatives for its players that have also been denied. Pretty much the weird situation happening with the World Baseball Classic and Puerto Rican and other foreign players having weird insurance clauses on their contracts based on where they can and can't play and what it'll cover, and that's why they're sitting out or threatening to sit out.
Okay. When does the World Baseball Classic start? Soon, right?
Over under.
I think we asked this like last week.
I know.
I can't remember.
And I still want to know.
November?
March 5th.
March 5th.
November.
30 days.
November.
Only 30 days.
Wait, when is the Olympics? Do the Olympics start Friday? We got such a year today. We got such a year. 2026 is going to be fantastic. The World Baseball Classic is fun.
Starts the 6th, yeah.
The Olympics start on the 6th. We got the World Cup. The Titans are going to be back in the playoffs.
Now you got me.
The Hawks are going to be picking in the top 3 to get, Darren Peterson. Life is good, brother.
He'll play 14 minutes a night for the Hawks. It'll be awesome.
That's whatever. I'm not going to let you bring me down. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. We might be in, Sweet 16 again, Elite 8. Who knows? Hell, maybe the Final 4 in late March. UFC on Paramount. We got stuff to watch all the time, Bubba. Did you guys see the boxer get his wig knocked off? Literally.
I had that one saved.
It got his, I don't know what you really make of it in the headline other than guy got his wig split, literally. He got punched so hard that his hair came off. Do we know, A, do we know what this guy's name is? B, do we know if he has made a statement? Like, has he come out and acknowledged it?
You have to.
Yeah, you got to. It's like, hey, man.
I feel like he was
he is on the wrong side of
I think
maybe
he was laughing it off.
You have to, but he is on the wrong side of maybe the most embarrassing thing that could happen to you.
Jarrell Miller.
You got to just say, what can you do?
Yeah, he eventually ripped off his toupee and tossed it into the crowd. The WBC president posted pictures of him just holding on to it.
That's pretty good. What else you got, Bubba, for headlines?
We had the Lady Vols getting throttled by UConn.
It depends when you watched. If you just watched the first half, you thought, wow, what a battle for Kim Caldwell and the girls. Because I was driving back from Georgia, and I just happened to check my Lady Vols group chat, and they're like, wow, what a battle for the girls. This is great. This is awesome. We're going to win. Or, wow, this is great. This rivalry is ferocious. These ladies are magnificent. Kim Caldwell, Queen Kim. So I check. I'm like, wow, 42-42 at halftime. That's cool. I check the gambling apps. Oh, 14.5-point spread. Because apparently we were 28-point underdogs before the game.
Oh, makes sense.
They were 28-point underdogs before the game. Then I look, and then, so I start watching. You can maybe say I was the bad luck guy. Maybe I was the cooler here. Because I start watching, and, we're still battling. We got a lead. And the next thing you know, boom, it's a 9-point game. And you're like, uh-oh. I turned it off at that point. Because it's like, this is slipping away. Maybe I'm the bad luck, whatever. Turns out it wasn't me, because they proceeded to get outscored by 21 after that to lose by 30 points.
I went downstairs to make some food, and there was like an 8-point deficit. And then I kind of turned around and got distracted for a couple minutes, and I looked back at the TV, and we were down by like 25. And I was like, what the hell just happened?
If you are someone betting on women's basketball and betting on the Lady Vols, that's a tough beat. I feel bad for you there. When you have a lead in the third quarter, you probably think that your 28.5 points are safe. Turns out they weren't, and you lost. That's brutal.
Also for the Lady Vols, their game against Ole Miss has been rescheduled to February 17th.
Okay.
Vandy kind of got shafted by that whole Ole Miss thing. They're
now their end of their season stretch gets
I think
brutal,
they go
right?
on the road like 5 straight games to end the year.
I don't know if it's quite that bad, but I want to say, Sam, that I saw they have 3 in a row with like us included in there. It got a lot tougher for them. Now I don't know what the alternative really would have been. I don't know what
the game on an icy basketball court outside in Oxford.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know what they really could have done other than move it. Was the idea that Vanderbilt couldn't leave?
Mississippi State couldn't host. Or, sorry, Ole Miss couldn't host.
Ole Miss couldn't host?
Yeah, like Oxford has just gotten destroyed by this storm.
Okay. That makes sense. So then they had to...
Vandy said, like, hey, we can host, but we'll just flip the return date or whatever.
Yeah, so now their final 5 games of the season are Tennessee and Georgia at home, and then at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, at Tennessee. So not quite 5 in a row, but I mean Georgia if you still think of them as a quality team. You got 4 games against quality opponents and a road game at Ole Miss. That's tough. Next headline, please, Bubba. Bubba the newsmaker.
Well, we talked about Dalton Connect possibly getting traded. That did not happen.
Hasn't happened yet, at least.
When is the trade deadline for the NBA?
Trade deadline, I would imagine, is usually it's either this Thursday or next Thursday. When is it? I want to say the 8th. I want to say it's the February 5th. Yeah, so this Thursday. You got 3 days to get your offers in. Do you think we see Dalton Connect traded, Bubba? Will he get a new home?
I hope so.
I don't know who would really want him. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean, I just...
That's rough to say, John.
Well, I mean, it hurts me for Dalton Connect. It's just, man, like...
Who want me?
Are there any just bad teams that are in desperate need of offense?
Well, they're not... See, if you're a bad team, you're not in desperate need of anything.
Yeah.
If you're bad...
not buying anything.
Yeah, if you're a bad team, there's no point in you going out and getting anybody.
I mean, I just can't imagine Dalton Connect. You're going to have to, pay the bank for Dalton Connect. Like, surely he's not breaking the bank.
Oh, no, yeah. I was like, pay the bank? What the hell are you talking about? But yeah, you mean, yeah. But he would, it might even be, yeah, where you wouldn't have to give him pretty much anything. You might just have to bring him on the roster spot, which maybe somebody would, but like.
Trade a 2048 pick swap.
You can't go that far, but you could do, guys get traded sometimes and it'll be like for a second round pick that's protected 1 through 55, which means the only way it goes is if the team is in the top 5 in the league and the pick's like number 57 or 58, then you got to give up your second round pick. I don't know what his value is. It doesn't seem like it's much of anything. I just don't know who would really be in the market for him right now. Trading somebody during the season is just a little bit trickier too, especially if you're a bad team, like whatever. But I would say the Lakers will be trying to make moves around the edges. So Connect maybe gets moved just to free up a roster spot as they try to bring some pieces in, because they still need to kind of figure out if they're going to try to compete this year or not. Like the Lakers are maybe good enough to try to compete. And like if you got Luka and LeBron, maybe you could talk yourself into their offensive brilliance carrying you in a 7-game series when the game slows down.
I saw some crazy stat that was basically saying the Lakers suck with LeBron and Luka playing on the court together, but they're a good team when it's just LeBron on the court or just Luka on the court.
I don't have those numbers in front of me, but just logically that would make perfect sense because I think there's too much overlap in what those guys do, and neither one of them really wants to play defense. So, like, if you got one heliocentric guy out there running the offense, heliocentric, Bubba, means that, like, you rotate around the sun. So, in this scenario, either Luka or LeBron would be the sun, and everyone kind of rotates around them. You can't have two suns.
What about Phoenix?
Well, I guess you have a lot of suns in that regard. Touche. But, like, you can't have two suns on a basketball court unless you're in Phoenix. So, like, yeah, having LeBron and Luke out there would just be a little bit of overlap. And then on the other side, yeah, you'd have just two really bad defenders out there that aren't even trying. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if, like, LeBron just got traded before the trade deadline. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Cleveland.
But, like, Dalton Connect, just for example, last thing on him, you had a chance to – like Portland, for example, yesterday, they went out and traded for a cheap shooter. And they went out and got the Hawks' 10th man, Vic Krejci, instead of bringing Dalton Connect right up the road. Like, ideally, or like realistically, those guys kind of play a same role of like, hey, heat check shooter. And they looked and said, give us Vic Krejci instead. We'll give up two second-round picks for him. Is a little bit cheaper, but at the same time, you would think the ceiling would still be higher on a first-round pick like Connect. Anything else, Bubba?
Besides Justin Rose winning, Patrick Reed returning back to the PGA Tour 2027.
And the crowd goes mild. The big thing here, Sam, would just be him getting involved in the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup. Like, do enough people still like think of him as Captain America, where he'd like make the team and like because he's good in those
Patrick
competitions?
Reed. I thought you were talking about Justin Rose.
No, Patrick Reed.
Probably not good enough to like get an automatic spot.
Like he could have taken Colin Morikawa's spot this last go around and been more useful than Morikawa.
Some people were debating it.
Okay,
I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, like his track record, people do think he is good in these things, but I think like he's one of those guys that maybe like wasn't just such a shoe-in leaving for Live, where it's like, hey, you do kind of have to build your image back up a little bit to get back onto these type of teams.
Fair enough. I didn't know if Live was the big hurdle for him. Like,
well, I mean, he already wasn't a guy that was universally well liked before he left for Live, and then he just kind of became even more of a scumbag.
Fair enough. A jerk, but then then a scumbag. Fair enough, but not good enough to put up with like DeChambeau, who DeChambeau I know had kind of had shaken the scumbag image or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
he's
all Patrick Reed needs to do is just make a YouTube channel
and also be likable on the channel. You also have to be likable on the channel.
Patrick Reed just comes off as like smug.
Have him do some cooking videos or something.
That would probably help.
Cooking steak and lobster.
Just cook a little steak. That'd be good.
Justin Rose with a huge win, though. He's going to win a major this year. I'm putting that one on record in January or February now, I guess.
I mean, like, he is too old to be doing this, isn't he?
45.
Yeah, it should be talked about way more, like how good he's playing at this age.
No, I mean, he was awesome last year too. Yeah, like, and then
he almost beat Rory at the Masters.
He ran away from this field that had some big names in it. I mean, how many shots did he end up winning by? Because when I checked,
I think.
Yeah, when I checked, he was up 7, and I didn't bother to check back in. I figured I'd saw if he collapsed. So he's 45. I feel like by 45, you're typically not anywhere near the top of your game anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's number 3 in the world right now.
How old is the oldest person to ever win a major? Because I mean, like, wasn't Jack? Was Jack not in his late 40s? He wasn't in his 50s when he won in, like, was it 86? That historic one he had. I want to say he was 45 when that happened, but like,
I feel like he was maybe older than that, but I'm not good with stuff that goes back that.
Well,
far,
plus
honestly.
those guys all just look old, anyways.
Oh, Phil. I forgot about Phil. Yeah.
Phil won
50.
at what, 47? Okay. At 50?
Mm-hmm.
Jack was 46 at the 86 Masters. How old was Tiger when Tiger won in, was that 19 or 18?
19.
19?
Probably like mid 40s, 43 or something like that.
He was only 43, but I guess his back was a lot older.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, like, those are anomalies. Like, Phil getting hot one tournament and winning.
Rose has been sustained for
Yeah.
this long, yeah.
Tiger putting it together. I won't pretend like I knew what Jack was doing back in 86. I just know he was 46, and everyone talked about that being a big deal. But, yeah, for Rose to be consistently playing great for the last year at that age is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty wild. Good batch of headlines. Stick with us.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Hey, VOLS fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go VOLS.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, It's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet. According to Jarrell Miller, the boxer who had his wig split, he says when he got to New York, he's washing his hair and all of his hair bleeping drops out. He says there's bleeping ammonia and bleach in the bottle. And I'm like, bleep it. If it falls off during the fight, I'm just going to make fun of it. And sure enough, it did fall out during the fight.
Maybe that cold New York air, got that glue, not as sticky.
Yeah, I don't know. But then he does insist that it's all fun. He says, I love to have fun. If you can't make fun of yourself, bro, then it is what it is. I had bad hair before. I hope it grows back, but it's cool. And at least it's going to go viral on the internet now. So at least he doesn't seem completely distraught and broken by it.
That's the only way to get through that situation.
Yeah.
Like if you're a boxer and then you try to stop the fight or something, like touching your hair, you're like, what the hell just happened? Like then you're just kind of the loser. But
it is crazy how uncomfortable or insecure hair makes people. Like looking back at like Jaylen Brown this year when he's trying to like put shoe polish in his hair, like have that whatever the hell he was doing that's rubbing off on other players.
I saw a picture of Carlos Boozer, like when he just travels around. They were like, he looks like a guy who like Velcros his beard on and off every single night.
Well, Carlos Boozer also had the situation where he put shoe polish in his hair. The guy had a 15 or 12, 14, 15-year career at a pretty good level, especially for a second round pick. Guy went to Duke, but all he's known for is that damn shoe polish. It's tough, man. Hair makes people uncomfortable. LeBron tried so long to lie about it and get transplants. Durant gets self-conscious about it.
Fat Joe's beard looks terrible.
Fat Joe's beard, I guess, looks terrible. Bubba, do you care at all about the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade sweepstakes?
I mean, it feel like it's a pretty big name that,
No, I agree. That's why I was curious if it was big enough to make you guys care. And it is a big name. I see what you did there. There's a lot of letters in it. That's good. Sam, is it enough? Is he a big enough name and big enough game to get you to care about it? Because he is a top 5 player of the last decade pretty easily.
It's not going to cause me to watch more NBA than I already barely do, but I like seeing the league get shaken up.
What if he ended up with the Warriors and it's him and Steph Curry, kind of Steph's last hoorah?
Those Twitter highlights that come across my page of how I consume most NBA will be pretty cool. I'll be happy to see like the first Giannis transition dunk that's then like a steal and then a Steph Curry 3 that makes a big highlight package.
Playoffs? We at least watch the playoffs if they were.
I watch the playoffs whenever they come on, but I just don't follow the NBA until then. You got to tell me who's good.
Yeah, I'm curious
are the Warriors
because
even like in playoff contention right now. I don't know.
The Warriors are, the Bucks aren't.
Okay.
And the Warriors have been a team linked to Giannis because basically I do find the Warriors, despite what Matty said on Friday, that moron Matty is what I'm going to start calling him. I don't love the Heat package nearly as much as he did, and also just don't want to see him in Miami. I would be interested, though, seeing him in Golden State, and I am interested in the mentality of it, of what you do if you're a franchise there and you are the Warriors, and you don't really have a chance of winning a championship right now, but you have, by every definition, a generational superstar, the most famous, the most important, the most impactful player in your franchise's history. He's winding down in Steph Curry. He's old. He ain't Justin Rose old. He ain't LeBron James old. But, like, what he's doing kind of defies time as well. Like, he's 37 years old and still playing at a super, super high level, which you don't really see for guys his size or, I
feel like the way he has to play doesn't really turn out into like a very, like a 45-plus type of career type of thing.
Yeah,
like running all around the court, like that's got to get hard at 37.
No, exactly. Yeah, like he's not big like LeBron that could just still kind of overpower you. He's still not got the big physical advantages. But like what Steph is doing is still really, really good. I mean, he's still averaging 27 points and shooting 39% from three on 11 and a half attempts per game. He's still awesome. So, like, there is a part of me that thinks, like, hey, if you're Golden State, do you owe it to him to try to go out and get him one last shot at the title? Do you owe it to him just to say, bleep it, let's trade all the draft picks we got, who cares, let's go get Giannis and make this a thing and give this guy one more chance to go get number 5? Or do you plan for the future?
Are they good enough to do that without Jimmy Butler now for the rest of the year?
Jimmy Butler would be a part of the trade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his salary would
take on a torn ACL.
They would just send him back there on his salary, his salary to match, and then hopefully let him rehab, and then maybe they could trade him next year. The Bucks could. They'd have to trade like Jimmy and Kuminga, and then just a whole bunch of first-round picks. And also, basically, Giannis would have to be like, "Yeah, I want to go there," and they have to do right by him, type of thing. But like that would fascinate me. I don't know about Miami, but I was curious if it got the casuals interested. Because that's going to be the next big talking point over the next 3 days as the trade deadline is coming, is Giannis moved? We also got the Super Bowl coming up this week. I hate that week in between. I didn't really care about football at all last week, but now that we're here officially for the Super Bowl, we could kind of start paying attention to it. A vibe check here on this Monday morning. Bubba, who are you leaning towards winning on Super Bowl Sunday? Are you riding with the Patriots or are you riding with the Seahawks?
The Seahawks, John.
You're riding with the Seahawks.
Yes, sir. Do a Patriot impression.
Yeah, I was going
to
say,
me,
what
please.
sound does a Patriot make?
The British are coming. The British are coming.
Comply. Sam, who you got?
My heart wants the Seahawks. My head tells me the Patriots.
So you're not worried about Drake May's shoulder injury?
What about his Snapchats?
The Snapchats are interesting. I'm a little bit worried about that, but I don't know. I mean, like, everyone's banged up. Like, you can say that you're worried about Sam Darnold's oblique, I think, too.
I don't think it's the same thing at this point because we've seen Sam Darnold play a couple games and play well against the Rams. Whereas if you go back and watch the second half, you can see the mark where it looks like Drake May gets hurt because all of a sudden the passes after that, he's skipping them. Like, he's throwing short. He doesn't have any strength on him.
I'd love to see the Patriots lose. Don't get me wrong. What you said last week, I feel like Vrabel is an underdog in the big game. I don't want to get burned by that.
Yeah, Vrabel in a big game as an underdog is a good spot. And I do think if Drake May was healthy, I'd feel solid about those chances. I just don't know if I buy Drake May's health. I'm sure they can give it a big steroid shot and get him feeling good, but that seems pretty tough. but you're leaning towards them. What are the interesting subplots? What talking points are we so focused on in this game? Because it feels like it's lacking some juice.
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry?
Yep.
What about him?
Just feels like, given Drake May's injuries, there could be a couple more short yardage passes going on. Guy that maybe, reclamation day for the guy.
Okay, so you're not looking at even worrying about him as a plot. You're just talking about props. You're talking about his gambling.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. People want winners.
There's not a whole lot of plots to this Super Bowl, in my opinion. That's what's kind of...
Yeah, it feels like it's lacking some juice.
I feel like a lot of stuff got exposed, throughout the championship weekend. Like, guys have already been injured and banged up, We've already seen what the Seahawks did with their running back core with Charbonnet out, so it's just Kenneth Walker holding it down, and then, their game doesn't change whether it's getting the ball to JSN or not. The Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson can somewhat be a guy that can find you some random big yardage runs. We root for Stephon Diggs, I guess. That's a plot. Boo to him. So
you said we're rooting for Stephon Diggs?
Rooting against him, excuse me. Let that man go on to his court case. Don't let him play in a Super Bowl.
It is funny that they've been trying to give him like the hero redemption of like, wow, you finally did it. Remember that picture we all made fun of you for like 5 years ago of you watching the Chiefs celebrate the AFC Championship? Now look at you. Now you're in the Super Bowl, and all you had to do was like beat up your chef, allegedly. Was there weird sex stuff too with the chef, or was it just physical? Do we know?
I thought it was just physical and like she didn't get payment or something like that.
Okay, well, that's what I was asking. I didn't know. I didn't know if it was a man or a woman either.
It kind of just like the storylines don't feel there because it almost feels like it's two teams that, unless you're a fan of the Seahawks or the Patriots, just kind of like somewhat casual NFL watchers just kind of are. They got through the entire season at 14-3, but people just kind of thought they weren't all that great. And then now they're just in the Super Bowl and you're like, all right, we'll see who's the better team, I guess. I think there's a lot of people that aren't necessarily convinced that maybe these are like Super Bowl caliber teams.
It was a female chef, and yeah, he's facing strangulation and misdemeanor charges, and also wasn't wanting to pay. But you're saying that you don't think these are the best teams, Sam? Is that what you're saying the perception is?
Of just like, or maybe there's no like stars maybe on these teams, so it's just like you have to bet on like who you think is the deeper, more gritty team. You don't have like your, Mahomes type of, hey, we got a star that can go change the game.
Now maybe Drake May is that guy, and maybe we just don't know it yet, right? Because he's in year 2. Maybe Drake May is getting ready to start being thought of in that same breath. Hell, he made a Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen can't do it. Maybe he'll be thought of as the new young superstar in the AFC, possibly. If he wins this one, yes. If he loses this one, I don't know. To be determined. We'll wait and see what he looks like going up against a tough schedule and maybe not getting gifted a trip to the Super Bowl. But if he wins, oh, boy, you stamp your whole career if he's able to win this one. I feel like you said, the Seahawks are a sum is greater than parts type of team. You look at the defense as a whole, it doesn't feel like there's any big superstar even on the defense, but the defense is really good.
It's just not a sexy game.
They have a superstar in Jackson Smith and Jigba. I just don't think we thought of him as a superstar before this year, and I don't think he's gotten enough attention for the season he's had this year. Maybe it's the market. Maybe it's because Sam Darnold's throwing him passes. I don't know, but the Seahawks were really, really good this year. They were the best team in the NFL, record-wise, but we didn't really give Jackson Smith and Jigba enough respect there. And then there's the Sam Darnold of it all hanging above it, where he is both a elephant in the room / like dark cloud over the game, over the team, but he's also like as good of a story as you could maybe have.
I do think the redemption arc probably could be one of the biggest storylines.
Yeah.
It's like going from the stints with the Jets and the Panthers.
Well, I mean, the Panthers one doesn't even really register to me, but it's really just about the Jets. And when I think about the Jets, I think about the Patriots. And the Patriots were the team that had him, quote, seeing ghosts. And to be able to go out there and kill those ghosts and stuff them back into a little bottle or a knapsack or wherever the hell you put ghosts, that to me is pretty cool if he's able to do it. Going from, promised kid in the Rose Bowl that's going to be the future of the league to bust, to being able to respond and lead your team to a Super Bowl, maybe even win Super Bowl MVP, like that storyline is about as good as you could write if it was the evil Patriots on the other side. I just don't know if we view these Patriots as the evil Patriots.
I kind of view them as evil Patriots. Mike Vrabel trying to become the first guy to, play in a Super Bowl and then coach and win it.
Is that so? No one's ever coached and won one?
I'm gonna
after playing.
I'm just spewing that. I just saw a tweet. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, well that's fun. At least you saw somebody tweet it. Who tweeted it? Were they reputable?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good stuff.
First Super Bowl since 2003 where both starting quarterbacks account for less than 5% of the team's salary cap.
Wait, say that again?
First Super Bowl since 2003 where both starting quarterbacks account for less than 5% of their team's salary cap.
That is a win for roster building, but that also feels like it's a surprise to me that Sam Darnold's not 5% of the salary cap. That must have been like a year one, a tricky accounting where they, front load some signing bonus stuff and his actual salary on the cap gets pushed down the road a little bit. Bubba, you weren't anywhere near correct on that, I think.
It was coaches that have also played for the same franchise because there was also Tony Dungy and Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
But
Doug Peterson.
Anyways.
And Tom Flores, apparently.
Also Bad Bunny.
But yeah, no one's ever done it for the same team. But yes, there have been guys coach a Super Bowl and win one after winning one as a player. The salary cap thing is interesting because we always look at that as like running backs. Running backs always get made fun of like, oh, you can't have an expensive running back. But I feel like over the years, you haven't really been able to have an expensive wide receiver or an expensive quarterback really either. You want all your finances to be tied up to a game breaker at quarterback or just like all in the trenches. Now maybe the Patriots have the cheat code of like the rookie quarterback on a cheap deal. Sam Darnold's not that. That's just kind of like journeyman cast it off that we caught a bargain with and struck lightning in a bottle. Who would a win mean more for at the quarterback position? Darnold or Drake May?
Darnold.
Yeah, I think Darnold. May's got that thinking of like, we're still young in this. But Darnold, I feel like with the way that his career's gone, he's probably thinking, who knows if I'm ever getting back here.
Well, I thought that last year when he blew the Week 18 game against the Lions to lose the 1 seed and end up going on the road, and then he turned around and went back the next year. To me, if Darnold wins, that's a great redemption arc story. I don't even know if it changes the way I think about Sam Darnold. I think in the back of my mind, I'll still be like, oh, he's going to choke. He's going to choke even after he wins. But for me, if Drake May gets one in his second year, if Vrabel gets one in his first year there, to me, that does set them up as the face of the AFC, or at least one of, with Patrick Mahomes moving forward. And if you get that first Super Bowl when you're really young, I do think it just elevates you so much, and I do think it makes him a superstar.
Resets the clock of the franchise, too, of like, one of the more dominant, if not the most dominant teams in the NFL for so long. And then, you take just a couple years off, and then you're just right back to winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, boy, man. With that, I don't know if things could get worse for Bill Belichick than they've been over the last, 2 years.
I forgot about that.
But can you imagine if, the three parties in this breakup all get, 2 of them get Super Bowls within 5 years? Brady gets one immediately. Kraft rebuilds and gets another Super Bowl.
And Bill Belichick's an adult cheer competition.
And Bill Belichick's an adult cheer competitions, getting his ass kicked by TCU and not getting put in the Hall of Fame. boy, like if there is somebody out there rooting against the Patriots, if the world has one Patriots hater on Sunday, I feel like it's Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah. I
Gerard
didn't even think
Mayo.
about that.
Gerard Mayo, yeah, he's probably not thrilled either, but he'd probably be like, hey, they spent money. Hey, I'm the one that wanted to draft Drake May. Hey, this is me. We would have done this too. I don't think that's the case, but like Gerard Mayo probably ain't wanting the Patriots to win, but Bill Belichick has to be the biggest Patriots hater in the United States. He's got to be because, again, Brady got one immediately. But I think we thought like, hey, the Belichick and the Patriots are real losers here for breaking up with Brady. The Patriots could be like, actually, no, we got Drake May, and he's like 23 years old, and we got a Super Bowl, and we got a young stud coach, Mike Vrabel. We're pretty good over here. The breakup was messy, but we made it out. We're good.
You think Jordan wants to throw like a huge Super Bowl party and Bill's just quietly like going to be stressing out, in a man cave? Like, oh, we can't lose.
I really do wonder if he even watches. Like he loves football so much, but maybe he's so soured on football after he couldn't get a head coaching job in the NFL, despite there being 8 openings. He didn't even get like one interview. And like in all honesty, I think he would have been perfect in Buffalo. Like that maybe would have been the perfect team to call him because you're so close. You're so close. What can we give Josh Allen to get him over the hump? Yes, let's get him the greatest coach of all time. He'll run the defense. We'll keep Joe Brady here as an offensive coordinator / coach in waiting. You could have done that in Bill Belichick. It would have been perfect. He could stick it to the Patriots, and they didn't even call him. They were going to hire Brian Daboll instead. They gave Joe Brady, a guy who's never been a head coach at any level, the call instead. So, like, Belichick, boy, man, like, you'd have to be really soured on the NFL right now. I don't think you even watched the game. Unless, like Sam said, Jordan just is really insistent on throwing a Super Bowl hate watch party. Hey, I know somebody who beat the Seahawks one time in a Super Bowl, babe. Who was that? Tell me more about how you didn't call timeout after the first down run with a minute left and you made Seattle panic because you didn't call one of your timeouts. Tell me about that interception, Bill. Wow. Look at this picture of you. You're so hot here and full of life. Maybe it's just the two of them. Maybe they go somewhere. I don't know.
It would be awesome if he's at a cheer competition during the Super Bowl.
Maybe she'll give him his own private competition, his own little private cheer show, which would somehow be even more awkward, I'd imagine. In the past, like you'd have a whole map of like who you're rooting for in the Super Bowl, and it'd be like the Patriots would be New England, and the other team would be the rest of the country. Do we think it'd be a similar breakdown here? Is there still enough residual damage, or at least a residual hate from that Patriots run where we just want to see the Seahawks win one?
I feel like the majority of people don't want to see the Patriots back on top.
I'm interested if that would be the case because Drake May is likable and Mike Vrabel is too to most people. But Seattle and Seattle doesn't necessarily seem like likable. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying it's not like they're getting the baby face like scrappy underdog treatment. Really,
I think they kind of just get the like you're in the corner of the country over out west. Nobody really cares about you.
I just realized. Imagine how awkward the North Carolina facility is this week. They got Drake May posters put up all over the place. They're celebrating because this is their boy. This is their program. The irony of Bill Belichick should be rooting hard for Drake May because it's a recruiting tool. Hey, the Patriot way. I taught Mike Vrabel everything he knows. He should be using that, but I know he's not because deep down he's bitter. He's miserable right now.
Do you think there's any chance that we could ever see Joshua Dobbs out there for a play in the Super Bowl?
I feel like something's gone wrong if that's the case, but man, Drake May's hurt. His shoulder's hurt. So
what
yeah,
if he do one of those trick plays where, he catches it again.
I'd be surprised if he got in any type of trick play.
That seems like a very obvious trick play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like maybe you sell it. Now, if I'm Mike Vrabel, and Mike Vrabel would maybe be, smart enough to do this, Sam, maybe Drake May runs off the sideline hitting his shoulder, and you get the medical team to come out and check him, a little wrestling, and then next thing you know, Josh Dobbs comes in, then you run the trick play. Here comes a handoff. Oh, wait, no, this is like the flea flicker screen throwback. Whatever the hell you want to do, maybe that would be it. A little gamesmanship. Huh? Defense wouldn't see that coming. But, yeah, if you just bring Josh Dobbs in randomly, he's not fast enough to run away either.
I think I saw some tweet that apparently Cooper Kupp posted a picture of him like at Super Bowl practice, and he's throwing a ball, and everyone's like, did Cooper Kupp just do the dumbest thing in the world and like tell the world that the Seahawks are running a trick play with him passing it?
Gamesmanship, man. You make them plan for it regardless. They're setting them up. It's the double fake.
That's my favorite bet of the Super Bowl.
Betting on
over 2.5 players to attempt to pass.
Yeah. I wonder what the hit rate on that actually is.
It's been pretty high recently, I feel like.
I'm taking it now.
Yeah. This one would probably feel pretty good because, you might have Josh Dobbs get hurt. Or this might be like a 40-point blowout. Like Seattle has beaten the hell out of a lot of teams. Like you could tell me.
Put the backups in.
You could tell me the backups get in. You could tell me that. Seattle did that to Denver when they played them. Maybe history repeats itself there.
Drew Lock gets to post the picture like that failed Packers quarterback whenever someone like talks trash to him. And, he just posts the picture of the paint on his knee from being able to do the victory formation.
Maybe. Last call on the other side. Stick with us. We'll wrap up this Monday show. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
What's up, Fan Run Nation? This is Evan Rogers with ECR Total Landscapes. We're excited to continue our free stump grinding promotion with Fan Run Radio this year through March 31st. If you've got problem trees in your yard, give us a call and we'll come out and cut them down and grind the stumps for free when you mention you heard us right here on Fan Run Radio. Take it from Russ. We'll treat you right at ECR Total Landscapes.
That's right, Evan. I had the ECR team out to Stately Smith Manor last year, and they took down a bunch of trees for me and grinded the stumps for free. Now I don't have to worry about those trees falling on my house, and my yard looks much better. Do what I did. Call ECR Total Landscapes.
Thanks, Russ. Call us today and we'll come out and give you a free estimate. Our number is 865-384-2012 and our website is ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
At Knoxville Insurance Group, they understand the challenges many consumers face when searching for insurance coverage. That's why whether it's for you, your family, or your business, they create a coverage plan specifically for your unique needs. Knoxville Insurance Group is an independent firm, which means they aren't beholden to just one insurance company. They search multiple companies acting as your negotiator to find you the best possible policy and price. Start a quote in minutes at KnoxvilleInsuranceGroup.com or call them today at 865-694-9788.
Did you watch any of the Lakers-Knicks on NBC/Peacock last night? Starting to get ready for the Sunday night basketball, as Sunday night football is gone. But Caitlin Clark was on there, and she was talking with Reggie Miller and them before, and was asked what player in the NBA reminds you of Caitlin Clark. And she's sitting there smiling, and then Reggie Miller's like, yeah, this girl right here, she reminds me of Peyton Pritchard with the way she dribbles and beats the shot clock. And, like, she's, like, going from smiling to, like, kind of confused / disrespected as Reggie Miller is telling her that she reminds him of Peyton Pritchard, the, scrappy little Boston Celtics guard.
Is this the first time they've ever done Sunday night player intros, kind of like football?
They were trying to, they're trying to make it a big deal. They're trying to up the presentation, and
that Luke could just love them.
NBC and Peacock is trying. They're trying to make the NBA feel like a big deal. They are lapping ESPN in terms of their presentation. It feels good when the game's on there. Like, it does feel like they care. Now, Reggie Miller, I could do without him, but I thought that was pretty funny. Just as he's sitting there having a good time, and then Peyton Pritchard, interesting. All right, Bubba, what do we miss so far today?
Well, John, we've missed the NASCAR Clash because it got rescheduled to Wednesday.
They had tried to move it, right?
Yeah, they moved it to Sunday.
Well, no, they had tried to move the city, right? Like the Clash, it's like is it in Charlotte, or did I make that up? Is it in Carolina?
This is in Carolina.
Isn't it usually in Daytona, or no?
It used to be, but then,
it's like 80 degrees in Daytona this
weekend. The
new
ownership took over, took it all the way out to California, the Coliseum.
Okay.
So they took all gimmicky, and now it's at a place called Bowman Gray, which is like a high school / like local community college.
Okay, fair enough.
How many days can we keep the NASCAR Clash in headlines or what we missed?
What? I mean, with me every day, brother.
We'll find out what Bubba's got for you tomorrow, Sam. Peyton Pritchard. I would look at him and be like, are you kidding me?
We have the Vikings, Minnesota, firing Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, their GM, after poor return on investment of draft picks, as well as possibly using, not confirmed, but Pro Football Focus as a drafting tool, and maternity leave issues.
That was crazy.
So he just got fired for a whole bunch of like behind the scenes stuff, right?
He took 2 weeks off when his kid was born, which, I mean, go out there and do stuff for your family, but it was like during the draft process, apparently.
So you're saying he should have gotten fired for being a good dad?
Oh, I think he should have gotten fired for his last 4 terrible draft classes.
Have they had terrible drafts?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they should have fired him for Sam Darnold going to make the Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. You've got one of the quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl, and you had Daniel Jones looking really good before he broke his leg. Both of those guys were in the building.
It's not even the Vikings been tough. They lost Sam Darnold. He went to the Super Bowl. They had to fire their GM. Their owner was in the Epstein file release too. But he's one of those. It's like, hey, no. I was just buying the house. And he has a house in Paris I was trying to buy. This is not me being creepy. I was trying to buy a house. But he gets mentioned in it.
From who? Who's he buying the house from? Epstein himself?
Like
there's a lot of realtors out there, guys. You can go find a house in Paris that probably isn't associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
See, this is the thing about the redacted email. So this is from a redacted email to JE Vacation, which is a weird email. Mowens informs me that Wilf and the Vikings are still interested in joined by Wally Turner's client, who saw it on Tuesday and seems taken with it. All 3 contemplate major redos. So, like, I don't know if he was, reaching out to him directly, but he gets mentioned in the Epstein files, which, isn't good.
Do we think we could still email that email?
Why, Bubba? Are you trying to get on the guest list? Like, what
I'm just saying, like,
just checking in on the investigation. How's it going, guys?
Like, would I suddenly be thrown into like the files if I emailed it, and then it's like, what's this guy doing here?
I don't know if it's shut down or not.
Yo
I don't
mama,
know.
you do a yo mama joke on Jeffrey Epstein.
Your mama's so bad, she raised a notorious sex trafficker and all-around scumbag that everybody wanted to be friends with for some reason. Yeah. Anything else, Bubba?
Speaking of Paris, après des mois négociations,
Whoa.
c'est financé les premiers matchs de NFL en France, allez à Paris, au Stade de France, le 25 octobre 2026.
Who the
Et
hell?
la prosa New Orleans Saints are Browns de Cleveland.
Who knew that Carnes? Is that from Carnes French class?
No, brother, that's from REM Sport.
Well, no, I mean you being able to read so well in French. Like
I can say one phrase in French.
well, you just read that pretty good.
That sounded fluent.
Yeah. It sounded like you're a native.
I've been taught by a French woman.
Where?
She lives up in Canada.
You guys like FaceTime?
She's part of our friend group. She comes down for all the big holidays. So for like New Year's, July 4th.
What part of OnlyFans subscription do you get like a tutoring session
Nope.
like for 30 minutes a
Nope,
night?
shame on you. That's messed up.
My friend in Canada. Okay. So the story there is that the Saints and the Browns are playing in France.
Yep.
A regular season game.
Yep.
Yeah, that is pretty gross.
Also, Carlos Alcaraz winning the AO, completes career Grand Slam.
The youngest to ever do it.
ESPN acquires 10% equity for NFL assets from Red Zone, Fantasy, and more.
I wonder how people are going to react. Because, like, there's a chance Alcaraz could pass Djokovic and those guys for Grand Slams. Because there's not two other, like, all-time legends competing with him. Will the old heads be like, no, trust me, you had to be there to watch. Hell, he wouldn't even beat Andy Roddick. Or they'd be like, hey, no, he's got 30 Grand Slams. He's a GOAT. Be interesting to watch. He's a winner. Good job by you boys. Appreciate you locking in. Good job by the P team. MVPs of the day. Hopefully Cody's back tomorrow. Tony Basilio up next. Stay locked in on Fan Run Radio.
Take Fan Run Radio with you on the all-new Fan Run app. Just search for Fan Run Radio wherever you download your apps.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you